Hey.
It's next week. It's November 7th.
Can you
my sister's is November 6th.
post the thing
nice.
in the Discord, tag everyone?
Oh,
Dope.
he's good. What do
He's
you want me to
good.
do?
Tag everyone.
Tag everyone?
Tag everyone.
Tag everyone.
Announcements?
Everyone you know. Everyone
Dear-
you care about.
Say,
Not
Your
everyone.
mom, your dad, your siblings.
say hello. We're doing
You
a
have been tagged.
Hallo,
podcast.
guten Abend.
Hello.
Guten Abend.
No one's gonna show
We
up because
are
they're gonna be like,
podcast.
they're not playing Majora's Mask. I don't want to watch.
Well, then
What?
they are turds.
Wow. That was abrasive.
Very abrasive. It was
They are turds.
powerful.
Yeah.
Hello, we are podcast now.
Hello, we are podcast.
Dear everyone. Yes, we are now a podcast.
We are now.
Join
Hello.
us. We are a podcast.
We are
One
You
of
will
us.
join
One
us.
of us.
Languages. I saw a video of a little girl from Russia who's like 5 and she can speak 7 languages.
Whoa.
And read 7 languages.
I barely
Wow.
speak English, and it's my only language.
I'm like, I know random Spanish and sign language words, and I speak German too, but like, not well. But
Oh,
I'm like,
I love sign language. I that was my second language that I studied in high school, and now Spencer's
That's
super
cool.
curious about it, so I've been like teaching him some. And like today, where's Happy Halloween? So
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool. How do you do Happy
that's
Halloween?
cool.
Happy Halloween.
Happy
Happy.
Halloween.
Like you're tapping your chest, like all the good feels are there. You're
Happy.
happy. And Halloween. It's like you're
Oh,
wearing a
that's so
mask and the door's
cool.
opening. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Could say
I
hello.
learned Grandma got run over
How
by
are you?
a reindeer. When we were 10, we all dressed up as old people and we were going, Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Walking home from our house Christmas Eve.
That's awesome that
Oh
you
my
remember that, though.
goodness.
They never taught us anything
Just
like
that.
that.
I
when was in
remember
school.
eggnog.
Mm.
And
I
every
I
time
remember a lot of the
listened
important
to,
ones like coffee.
Oh. I know toilet.
Oh, is that what it actually is in
It's
sign
literally a
language?
T.
It's the letter T and you're
T.
like shaking it.
Oh,
Like-
we used
like
to do
a-
that. We used to do that in second grade to like say that we had to go to the bathroom. I didn't realize that was actually sign
Yeah.
language
Oh,
though.
yeah.
I thought that was just
And
like
I'm
the
pretty sure I
sign.
know what poop is too. But I'm not sure I want to demonstrate it. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
you
Yes.
Hello.
know.
Llama.
No. I love
Oh.
you.
It's true. That's
That's the short form.
because ILU, even though technically
Why?
U is this.
Actually, it's Y. Because it's Y.
Oh,
I would love to
I-L.
learn
Why?
some sign
Why?
language. That'd be super cool. And I would love to like have somebody to learn it with, so that I can
Oh,
like message
you
them
could
across the
take
room
a-
and stuff.
An ASL class. So-
I saw this.
I
I
could.
saw this hilarious meme. It was It says so Snape, Minerva McGonagall, and Umbridge are all sitting at the professor's table,
Yeah.
and Minerva and Severus are making these random tapping sounds at random point, and Umbridge goes, "Stop that!" Snape goes, "What?" And she was like, "You guys are talking about me in Morse code," and Minerva goes, "Yes, Umbridge. Yes, Dolores. We took the time to learn a dead language goes into this whole thing. We are wizards and witches, just so we could talk behind your back." Dolores Umbridge walks away. Minerva leans over to Professor Flitwick. That's exactly what we did.
So that's like a Harry Potter and Office meme right there combined.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty good. That's
love
pretty
it.
good.
My friend, my
Mm.
2 friends that they just got married back in September, they went as Pam and Jim for Halloween.
Oh,
I was just
That's
like,
so
that's so cute.
That
is
Literally
so
the only
cute.
reason I
So
started
powerful.
watching The Office was because of those 2.
that's
And
so
then I grew to
good.
love everything else.
Oh yeah,
That's
no,
quaint.
The Office is amazing. Also, Moose in the chat says, "Holy heck, infected Ilya."
Tanner Animation said, Hiya! So I said, ah!
So this was.
Oh, the real one. That's Wonder
Aw.
Woman. That's the real Wonder Woman.
Oh, it's so good.
I love it.
It's so good.
It is.
Legend of Jay-Z says, "Finally, my first time either live." I think they mean in the live, but yay!
In the
we get to
live.
do
Yay!
this live.
Welcome.
We're not dead, ironically, for Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Even though Ilya looks
Why?
like somebody tried to kill her, but you know, for the most part.
All right, I think we can start. Yes.
Sure.
Yes,
Okay.
let's.
Certainly.
Sorry it took an hour for us to start, guys.
Oops.
All right, so hello.
Hi.
Everyone.
Hello.
Everyone's good. Everyone. Yeah. Okay.
I'm so good.
I guess.
I lost.
Thanks for
the
tuning
thing.
in, everyone. That's the end of the
No.
podcast.
Yeah, alright.
All right.
You got a yawn?
I do. Stop it. All right. Hello, everyone. I can't.
You can't.
I can't.
Alright. It was a good
I have a
channel
bad
while it lasted.
lip reading song stuck in my
Alright.
head now.
All right. I can't. I have stage fright. I keep looking at Ilya and I'm like, are you okay? And then I look at Daniel and I'm like, but you're a vegetarian. Why are you cooking burgers? Your first episode accused you of
Maybe they're
cooking
veggie
human
burgers.
meat.
Also, the
Yeah.
subtitles are spelling Ilya wrong and it's bothersome.
Oh.
Alright.
They're spelling it with a Y, which is actually the male Russian form of Ilya.
Oh. Interesting.
Ilya.
Ilya is
Ilya.
actually
The Russian form.
Rush.
mine's
He's
just from
Ilya.
Twilight Princess because that's a whole nother story. Why I
Because
chose the
you
name Ilya.
have to keep Link good, otherwise he
Yeah.
he
I have a
hurts
whole
Epona.
video coming out in like a couple months about why Ilya is an underrated character.
No, I was telling Jesse this a while ago, but whenever I write stories or anything for the main, like, girl character, I always use the name Ilya. So when I met you, I was like, she's, like, if I ever read a story for them, they're gonna think that I did it because of Ilya.
No! Well, it's not my real name, so.
That's true.
Wow.
That's
We
true.
ready? Yes.
So ready.
I'm ready.
Alright. Hello everyone and welcome. I am Jesse, or Game Over Jesse, as all of you may know me. Here with us is Ilya, Daniel, and Maya. Today is Halloween for everyone
Ooh.
who doesn't
Yeah.
know. Yeah. So
It's a spooky podcast.
Oh.
today we're going to be talking about some Smash Bros. Leaks with some updates. We're going to be talking about how Ilya hates all of us. We are going
Wait,
to be
what?
talking about the unreleased Nintendo VR console. And we're going to be doing a quick overview of the 10 best games releasing in November. But first, everyone here, almost everyone, half of us, I don't know, are in Halloween costumes. So Ilya, are you okay? Who hurt you? Who did
Am I
this?
though? First of all, technically, it's not Ilya hates all of us, it's Ilya hats all of us, so.
True.
Yeah, true.
Yes, trying to give a quick overview of my costume. I dressed up as Luna for work today, then I dressed up as Minnie Mouse to hand out candy. I wanted an excuse to use my bruise wheel, which is a makeup thing that I learned how to do in college. I am Katniss Everdeen, I have the braid. This is a replica of the cowl she wore in the movie version of Catching Fire. God bless my mother for saving up money to get someone to make it for me. I have the pin, even though I don't think she wears the pin, but I'm specifically replicating the part from the book where she defends Gale at the whipping post. Because in the movie, they gave her like this tiny little scratch, like right
They
here,
did.
and Prim's like, "You don't need stitches." Where in the book, it was like, "Oh," and she's out for weeks because she like can't move and she can't do the wedding shoot because her face is all screwed up. So, movie, book.
Oh man.
I'm Katniss Everdeen.
It
By the
ma-
way, make sure you watch my video next Wednesday. That is connected, I swear.
I have a Gryffindor scarf. I should have gotten it. Do I have time to go get
I
it?
have a.
Go
You
now.
totally
Okay.
have time.
Okay,
Go.
everyone else, introduce yourselves. Who are you? Hi, Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob.
While I'm gone, introduce yourselves.
Oh, wait. Is that who we're supposed to be? I
Yeah.
said Freddie Mercury. Oh.
It's okay. I
I
said
should've-
Hitler.
I should have stuck with Freddie Mercury.
No, I totally get it
This
now.
is the worst mustache I could have bought.
Because he's Daniel Bergerson.
Well, Bergerson's not my real last name,
that
but
makes sense.
Yeah, I know.
but
I didn't even
yeah.
notice the apron until just now. I mean,
It's
Because I know
it's-
two
'cause it's
people
the
with your
same
exact
color
name
as my shirt.
combination, so.
oh man, oh man.
Yeah.
Well,
actually,
you're
my-
killing it, Bob.
Thank you. Even though this mustache keeps coming off.
Yeah,
But,
for sure.
No, my wife was Linda, and her costume
Oh.
was way better than mine. But
There's only so much you can do.
that's the problem. It's a very limited resource, but it was really funny and very easy to throw together. That's all I got.
Neat. I'm
Mhm.
Robin, which is like the R, but that's like this was
Are
like a.
you sure?
Hey, would you? All right, this has been a fun podcast. I'm gonna go now. Totally kidding, but this was actually just like thrown together at the last minute because I was actually gonna be doing a Zelda from Breath of the Wild costume that's getting custom made, but it hasn't come in yet. So I'm saving that for my stream because we're gonna be doing a Zelda day where every week I'll dress up as Zelda and then play a Zelda game. And I think that would be really, really cool. But right now I'm Robin. I'm Robin, and I don't even have a Batman.
My mom has a
Whoa.
friend named Robin. She was
There
a
you
rat
go.
in high school.
Oh,
Well, if you're
She's a
Robin,
really good woman now, though.
100% Dick Grayson. Always Dick Grayson. Miss me with all the other Robins.
if you're Robin, you better hope Batman doesn't show up because he doesn't take kindly to burglary.
Ah. Just want to. I just.
Wow.
I just want to stop.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Um,
how do I do
Lol,
this?
I sort
Okay.
Link into Gryffindor in like every, because he's like wearing Link's cap, and then he's Gryffindor, and I usually sort Link into Gryffindor. So
Considering he's like the courage, right, of the Triforce and everything, it makes sense because Gryffindor is all about bravery and.
felt bad, 'cause I
courage
was like,
and-
that's like literally the most obvious.
I don't know how
choice.
to wear a scarf, so I'm just gonna do this.
Is
Done.
Well, you.
Good.
you
Good
look
enough.
Great. You look great.
Good enough.
Good enough.
Oh, Neptune. You're a wizard, Jesse, said Ryan.
You're a lizard.
You're a wizard, Jesse.
Link is a wizard. He does magic and stuff.
Sort of.
He defeats lizards.
I am-
The Zalfos, the
Oh, yeah.
Dongos,
That's
Yeah.
true.
Alright.
And
The
whiz
Dongos.
robes.
Whiz robes. No, whiz bangs. That's what my
Whiz
mom
bang.
calls them.
Whiz bangs?
my
Whiz
mistake.
bangs.
Whiz bangs.
She was playing Breath of the Wild like months ago, and she was like, "Duh, I can't defeat these freaking things," and she had heard me call them whiz robes, but she couldn't remember them for the life of her. So she was like, "The stupid whiz bangs," and I just like whip around, and I'm like,
Hold on.
Ilya, are you okay?
He's just gonna ask that the whole podcast.
Okay, so what happened
Yeah.
to you?
Yeah.
Like, what's your story?
Who hurt you?
Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the person that beats up.
That's
King.
how hard they hit you?
No, I mean, like, what did they do? Like,
got hit
it's
in the
it's
head
only
so
this
hard
side
you
of the
can't even remember?
face. So, like, did
Well, in the book, she gets in the Katniss gets in between the person, and I can't remember his name, that is whipping Gale at the post in the center of District 12, and when she gets in the way, not only does he, I'm pretty sure he mainly just whips her, so it's actually she probably has cuts. I don't think he like punches her or anything, but she does get pretty hurt by everything. I mean, getting whipped kind of hurts.
Did she nay after she got whipped, or no?
That wasn't a thing when those books were not even when that book movie came out, which was 2000. Catching Fire released November 20th, 2013.
Dang.
I actually have a story about that day that I'm gonna send to one of your Sunday creepy things. The event that happened to me
Spooky
when
Sunday.
I premiered. Yeah, when I went to the premiere of Catching Fire, me and my friends had a creepy
Oh.
incident.
I love your stories so much because they're so like your first one was really good. It had a lot of detail, but like the last one that you sent was like so in depth. I was like, I love this. Like I just wanted more. So yes, I'm so excited
Creepy.
for that. It was super creepy
So,
for sure. Yeah. but
Chablima's biggest fan is here? Banjo Bear.
Oh.
Yeah, because she's always streaming Banjo.
That's
Ninja, I
true.
was not in a fight.
yes.
I would lose. Although I always joke that because I'm a dancer, it doesn't matter that I'm short. I could kick anyone of any height. And give him a nice concussion. I did get a concussion over here in January, though.
You sure
Really?
it's not over?
No, how?
Yeah, it's not there.
Are you okay?
The other side.
Are you okay? Are you fine?
What happened?
Is it?
Oh, so there are these hills behind one of the dorms, one of the co-ed dorms, and at my alma mater. And when I say co-ed, it's just the common areas. The wings are separate, guys and girls. And so there's a big hill, and there was snow on it because I went to school up north. And we had like these trash can lids and stuff, and we were sliding down them. And there's a point where there's a sidewalk, and on both sides of the sidewalk, there's like these big snowbanks, as well as a set of bushes, another snowbank, and then a brick wall of the building. So you always get stopped by the snowbanks, right?
You would think so.
Well, I go down, and I decide to go on my stomach face first, head first. And after I passed the first snowbank and went clear off of it, over it, I was like, this isn't gonna work. Turned my face just in time and blacked out.
Oh my god.
There was a blood print, probably about this tall, on the brick wall of my face.
Oh no.
So like I like open my eyes and I see my friends running toward me and they're like, oh, I almost said my real name. Ah! And they were like, what happened? I'm like, guys, how did I end up over here? And they're like, yeah. Like there was glass on my face because my glasses shattered.
Oh.
I went like this and I was like, that's blood.
Not good.
Were you
And
feeling?
then I tried to stand up and I fell forward and they were like, you're not okay. And then I started getting like super emotional. I'd start laughing, then I'd get really angry, and then I'd start crying. And then I was like,
that sounds like me on a regular day.
I was like, guys, I don't know what it is, but I have a really bad headache. And they're like, I don't think you're understanding. You hit your head full speed at the wall. I'm just glad I turned my face because I would have broken my nose for sure.
Seriously.
It was like the day after an audition too. So when I went back for the first day of rehearsal, and my professor just looks at me. This is like the first day of my last semester, and she just looks at me and she goes, because I have like all these scrapes and bruises down my face, my eyes swollen, my ear was like puffed up, I couldn't wear earrings. And she just looks at me and she was like, do I want to know? And I was like, she was like, I just need to know, was it stupid? And I was like, it depends. She was like, nope.
Never mind.
Nope. Are you okay? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, you were the one I had faith in, huh? And she moved on.
Are you Robin?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am.
Oh, you're asking her. I thought you asked
Yeah.
if I was Lobble. And I was like,
No.
Are you Lobble?
Are you Lobble? That's
Okay.
Lily's real name actually is Lobble.
No.
So
That's
Daniel,
why she doesn't want to tell us.
you
Yeah.
you know the
let it slip.
you know the information about the VR console, Daniel?
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Would you be able to take that one?
Not like 100%.
But you would be able to take it, right?
I can give you the gist of it.
Okay. Okay. So
Sure.
you can do that. Maybe like if you find a written article, or maybe I'll find a written article while we're doing this. But you can take that one, and I will start us off. Okay, everyone ready? Yeah, for the first piece of
Alright.
news, the
Yeah.
Super Smash Bros. Leaks, right?
Cool.
All right. Story time, guys. It's great. All right. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do
Just
it.
do it.
All right.
You can do it.
make your
What a-
dreams come true.
Just do it.
Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about some updates for the recent Super Smash Bros. News leaks, I guess. Everyone's seen, like, they've been calling it the Grinch leak because there was like a picture of the Grinch that was like along with the leaks. Well, anyways, we have some updates on that. Do you guys remember what the original leaks were? The characters for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate?
Yeah, there was like Mac Ryder
Yeah.
and Ken from Street Fighter, and
Yeah, so this comes from Nintendo Wire. They said, Alright, so Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is no stranger to leaks, and most of them are as fake as they come, but this latest discovery has everyone going, Originally posted to Snapchat and then promptly shared around the web, the leak shows what appears to be the final Super Smash Bros. Ultimate banner. I also want to say the ending of this is very, very interesting. Because it's kind of dumb, but I find it interesting. Anyways, continuing. With some sleuthing, 7 characters can be made out. Shadow, Banjo, Isaac from Golden Sun. What? Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Isaac from Golden Sun, not Isaac from the Uprising. Kid Icarus, right?
Oh, no. Golden Sun.
Okay. Ken, Mach Rider, Geno, and Rhythm Heaven's Chorus Kids. Now, it's easy to dismiss this as yet another blurry leak. That's the bad thing about this. Like, whoever did this took the time to make, like, this super, like, HD photoshopped version, and then they just took a blurry picture of it if it was fake.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, because, like, you have to, like, make it look realistic. So you have to make the quality of the characters look just as good as the others. But then it's like, you're just taking a blurry picture. So if it is fake, that's sad. I want to see, like, the real one. Anyways, now it's easy to dismiss this as yet another blurry leak, but it's worth noting that a few points are in its favor, most of which are collated over on Reset Era. For starters, the leaker didn't fully obscure their name, which led internet detectives to discover they work for a French marketing firm that handles displays for various companies, including Bandai Namco, the co-developer of Smash Ultimate. You can see the full rundown here, but be warned for some not safe for work language. There's also the fact we've yet to see the blank battlefield background of the marketing banner before details are revealed for various characters that haven't been uncovered before, like the tip of Greninja's tongue. So what they're meaning there is because some of the details of some of the characters are blocked off by other characters, such as the tip of Greninja's tongue, in this one, if they went in to make the other characters, they also had to fill in the details of Greninja's tongue because it was blocked before, now it's not, so they had to add details to characters that were already there. So there's an update to this. It says, following yesterday's possible leak concerning the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate roster, a number of new details have emerged. First, Marina PLV, the company where the leak took place, allegedly, issued a statement on their Facebook page. Below is a roughly translated version of it. So if it sounds like there's typos in this, they probably just used Google Translate, and this is how it came out. So, rumors of privacy leak on the latest version of Super Smash Bros. Game report a link to our company. All these rumors only support one idea. And they made this because everyone was saying that the leaker worked at this company. Turns out he works at a company that just does the same thing this company does. Continuing, journalism is not limited to searching Google. Indeed, the person involved in this rumor, if so, is no longer present in our company since November of 2016, which has not put its LinkedIn profile up to date. Some wanted to make a reapproachment, I guess, with the Marina workshops that cannot exist. Namco is a company that we worked with and with which we want to work again. This is not the case currently for the launch of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. These rumors are therefore discrediting our widely recognized professionalism, particularly with regard to our confidentiality commitments. We are now contacting all these sites and Namco Nintendo to remove this false information and evaluate the judicial suits to be given the Marina team. So basically what that is, the person who leaked it, everyone went to his LinkedIn profile to see what the company was that he worked for, and he just hasn't updated his LinkedIn profile for 2 years. I haven't updated mine for like 5 years. So mine probably says I'm still working at GameStop. From their LinkedIn profiles of the alleged leaker were found, placing him at Marina PLV until November 2016. Since these marketing materials for the game would not exist then, sites have been set on the current company the alleged leaker works for, ACP PLV. As of writing this, there has been no evidence that ACP PLV has or is working with Bandai Namco. Nintendo Actu on Twitter went one step further and called the company ACP PLV to ask if the leaker works there. There's a tweet there, but it ends with Nintendo Actu saying, "Hey, indeed, the person in question doesn't work there anymore, but now works at another company in the same field. We called this company yesterday and can confirm this person is real and works there." So basically, this person went from the first company that was on the LinkedIn profile to another company that also worked in marketing materials, and then he left that company and went to a third company which also works with marketing material. Kind of confusing, but basically, like, all three companies did the same thing. It's like going from like Walmart to Target to something else, kind of. Yeah, they were also able.
Southerners know that one.
This one is the interesting part that I felt. It says they were also able to contact the leaker through a source of their own. The leaker, in quotes, has stated they are unaware of this event. Journalist Liam Robertson, who probably every gamer follows, was also able to contact him and tweeted out the following. Note, we removed the individual's name from the quote below. Liam Robertson said, "What I'm hearing now is that Redacted, the artist who supposedly posted the Smash art, was contacted and denied having anything to do with this whole thing, so it's looking like the person responsible has been impersonating him." So, this is the interesting part, because I want to say, if he did do this, he would have to be really, really stupid to actually admit to it. Because if he admits to it, that means not only does he get sued by Nintendo, but he gets fired and sued by the company that he works for.
Oh, 100%.
And then his career in marketing, since that he must have like went to college for marketing or something, since his past 3 jobs have all been at marketing places, no marketing company would ever hire him again, because none of them would want to take the risk of them hiring someone and then them like leaking all the stuff on the internet. So it's kind of like that guy that was working at IGN and then he like stole a bunch of reviews and stuff. No other website like IGN or Go Nintendo or whatever is likely ever going to hire him, because if they do, that's going to make them look bad, and then they're also taking the risk of having like reviews and stuff scrutinized again. So basically, if he did admit to this, he would be done in that industry. He'd have to like get a completely different type of job, and then it would still be hard because they would look at it and be like, well, it says like the thing that you weren't supposed to do, you did. So, but anyways, so yeah, with him saying that he's not working, or like he didn't leak the thing, he doesn't know anything about it. That's the smart thing to say. I think what this was, because he didn't post it to Twitter or Instagram, he posted it to Snapchat. So I imagine it was just a thing to where like maybe he was a fan, or maybe he just knew Smash Bros was a big deal. So he was like, oh, this is cool. And then he takes a picture, posts it for a few of his friends to see, doesn't think anything of it, and suddenly millions of people online are talking about it, and all the news sites are talking about it, and then he's like, oh crap, I messed up. I think it was something like that. So although he says that he doesn't, again, whether he did or didn't, you would have to be stupid to actually admit to it.
Yeah. There's a great Nintendo Life video where Alex kind of dissects this leak, and after he did it, I kind of fall into the camp. I think it's fake as well. Like, it's too clean of a trail, and everybody's talking about trying to link it to Namco. The thing is that Namco is like a co-developer. They're not the actual publishers. So Namco wouldn't even be involved in the marketing side of things. That would be wholly held with Nintendo, right? So with that, like, for me, like, I just feel like it's almost like too well put together, where it's like they want people to find this thing, to connect it to this thing. It's like a conspiracy, guy. It feels too clean cut, you know, like a lot of leaks are very and again, also the whole blurry image thing, of course, is too convenient, and it would hide a lot of like an amateur Photoshop mistake would be hidden from this blurry image as well. So, yeah. So I feel like people should watch that, because it made me pick that grain of salt back up to take the leak with. Yeah, I don't know. I'm super skeptical about it though, if it's even real. But I think, further to Jesse's point, absolutely, if it were real, that guy would not admit to it.
Oh yeah.
No way. No way.
Are you okay, Ilya? Ilya, are you okay?
Did Maya do this to you?
Yeah, she's Robin, and Robin in the new TV series is ruthless.
Have superpowers.
So she needs superpowers to hurt you?
Is that what you're saying?
Are you
How
saying
weak do you think I am?
Ilya-
I'm tiny, but I'm vicious. I'm like a piranha, okay?
Ilya
The
is
small
so
ones are
I
always
feel
the
that.
most ferocious.
Ilya is so
Oh, yeah.
amazing and strong that
Sure
someone
we
would
are.
actually need superpowers to harm her.
It's true,
Also,
apparently.
Moose Race Cars in the chat said Illuminati music plays. And I'm thinking like the Illuminati has their own music. they've got their own
Wait,
song.
what? Is that?
Like if you look up Illuminati music.
That's not
what do you
real.
Like you'll
find?
find.
They use the song from X-Files usually. Or is it X-Files?
It is. I think it is the X-Files theme
Something
song.
that goes...
Yeah, no, that's X-Files, man.
Yeah. Do.
Still very suiting still.
Yep.
So it's associated with the Illuminati.
So,
Illuminati confirmed.
Robin, as our guest, what are your thoughts on all this Super Smash Bros. Stuff?
I mean, I would like to believe that it's true, just because it's cool to get to see more
Speaking of
information.
X-Files, I
you
want
know?
to believe.
I want to believe, but it like Daniel said, like it's almost too perfect. Just like the picture itself, like if you look at the picture, it's like it doesn't look like someone just took a blurry photo. It looks like someone took a good photo and then blurred it afterwards. You know, so it's too perfect for it to be an actual leak, in my opinion. But I would like to see it. You know, I would like to see an actual leak that gives us more things that we don't know about, because I'm all about that. But I don't think so. Not in this case, at least.
All right, Ilya, are you okay?
Yeah.
I definitely don't think that this is a legit league, and I know that, let's say some of these characters do end up being legit people. I don't like let's say Banjo and Kazooie become characters in Smash, like they've been planning to be characters. I would still say the leak is fake, even if it happened to be a lucky guess, if anything, something like that.
Which would be a good lucky guess too.
It'd be like, okay, great. I wouldn't say that leak was true. It just happens to coincide, and I guess we'll find out more tomorrow anyway. With the direct.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I totally
10 a.m.
forgot that was
Eastern
Tomorrow,
Standard
I gotta live stream that. I gotta wake up early. And
Yeah.
get I have to prepare.
When I wake up in the morning, my voice sounds terrible, so I'll be like, "Hey guys, oh guys, that's so cool! Oh my god!"
Yeah. Oh no, she's not a
Tastes like
zombie.
lemon tea.
She's
No, I'm
just
not a zombie.
she was just beat up.
Katniss Everdeen beat up after she saves Gale, or stands between the guy and Gale at the whipping post. It's gonna bother me that I can't remember his name. I have to. I call myself an obsessive Hunger Games fan, and I don't remember his name.
And I am Harry Lonker.
Oh,
Apparently.
Harry Lonker in the Chamber of Sages. Is that pretty good?
You're muted, Bob.
I kid you not, 3 years ago, my Halloween costume was Lonk from Pennsylvania. And no one got it, but it was still...
Oh man.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
All right. Yeah. So, I guess we're just gonna we're gonna find out all this tomorrow. This video will probably post. Like.
Better post it tonight, Jeffrey.
I don't remember if it was like an actual leak or if it was the trailer or something, but I remember finding out that the dog from Duck Hunt was going to be in the last Smash Bros, and I didn't believe that. Like, I was like, that's weird, why would they have him in the game? And so I mean, it's possible. It's, you know, anything's possible if you believe.
Also, I'm so glad you really enunciated that. Duck Hunt.
Yes.
Duck Hunt.
Yes. I want to make that very clear.
Just
Ilya,
so
what was the
nobody...
name? You look like you're dying to say this name.
Oh, me. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the real...
Romulus Thread. I was like, I kept saying Thresh in my head. I'm like, no, that's
Thresh.
that's the 74th Hunger Games District 11 male tribute. Is
Oh
Thresh.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, I didn't even know.
Well, he's in the first movie. Gosh, Jesse. This guy.
But
And
I'm
movie.
a little obsessed with this series. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, not sorry.
Ilya,
Yes.
would you like to take the TV series Zelda thing? Yeah.
Yes. Where
Alright.
is it?
It's the one named after you.
Oh, what?
I didn't know that.
Where Ilya hates us all?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't.
Well, most
well,
of us. I mean, if you look at the Google Doc, it says clearly that Ilya does not hate me. And no, I didn't just type that in.
Oh, except Daniel, obviously. Nice one. Nice one. Nice one.
All right, Ilya.
What just
Take us
happened?
away.
Wait. Is everything back to normal? Y'all were all
Yes.
frozen for like a really long time.
You were frozen. For
Oh,
a
it was
second,
you were the
right?
frozen one.
Yeah.
Unless we're
Daniel's
playing
so
an
frozen.
elaborate joke.
You were so frozen. I thought you were a Disney movie for a second. It was pretty intense.
All right.
That
So
was your mustache. That was your mustache. Like,
You know,
falls off your face.
it's a good joke when my mustache falls off from my laughing.
you only need to read the
Well.
3 paragraphs.
Yeah.
So like
Alright,
after that,
so
it
I'm
just
gonna
tells
butcher
what
this
Zelda
name.
is.
I'm really sorry, but
I butchered
This
it too in the video I
news
posted earlier. So what?
comes from therap.com. Not rap like yo, but rap like rap it. Anyway, Adi Shankar. So sorry, Adi, whatever.
Adi.
In talks to produce Legend of Zelda TV series on video game. So, producer Adi, I'm just gonna leave it there, is in talks to produce a series based on the long-running Legend of Zelda video game franchise. The Rap has learned exclusively. The Rap has learned. I forgot commas. Anyway, on Monday, Shankar posted on Instagram that he was working with an iconic Japanese gaming company to adapt one of their iconic video game series into a series. Wait, does it actually say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, video game series into a series.
There we go.
Shankar's most recent credits include serving as a producer on Joseph Kahn's Bodied and starring in Get the Girl, as well as executive producer in Lone Survivor. He also served as executive producer on the TV series Castlevania. And
Yeah.
it's so funny that they are saying that it would be a series because we've talked about it many times in my very first YouTube video. I even say if they were to make the mistake of trying to produce adapt Legend of Zelda into anything, if they were to make that mistake, it should be a TV series.
Yeah.
If anything.
So the important thing that they don't really mention here is that a few years ago, there were 2 rumors that came out around the same time. Sort of whenever was it around like the same time that Iwata passed away? Because like the new president took over and then everything started changing with Nintendo. Do you remember, Daniel? Because like after the new after the new president came, they that's when they started letting other companies use their IPs. They started collaborating. They started putting out more than just video games. But anyways, around that time, there were 2 huge movie rumors. One was there was going to be a Mario movie made in partnership by Sony and Nintendo. The second rumor that came out around the same time was that there was going to be a Netflix Zelda TV series by Nintendo in the style of Game of Thrones, but just like teen or PG-13, not mature rated. So
Dang.
none of the scenes that kids would need to skip over.
Yeah, no, for sure. They wouldn't want to do that, yeah.
Right. So, but like the games already get kind of mature, like with the Great Fairies and stuff.
Ocarina of Time, Dead Hand, ready to my butt.
Well, yeah, for sure, but it's like you don't want to go all Game of Thrones levels of maturity with
Yeah.
the Zelda.
Link
something
dies in the
so
3rd
weird.
episode.
In terms of violence.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
All of your
But-
favorite characters end up dying. It's like
Don't
Link
even
dies.
say that.
Instead of
Don't even
Link-
say that.
instead of
It's
Link.
okay, Link will just be reincarnated eventually.
No, Fido. Fido takes the sword. He's just
Fido?
like Fido, yeah, the bully
Not
from
Fido's a
Fido?
dog.
That's Mido.
Mido.
That's Mido.
Wow.
Fido is.
Calls himself
Jeez.
a Zelda expert.
Yeah, for real.
Can we have
Fido's a phone company.
I want Gampy
No.
to be
And I
the
thought it was
hero of
pronounced
time.
Mido. No, that's because of a thing that I'm doing. They had us all pronounce it Mido. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, those rumors: the Mario movie, the Zelda TV series. The Zelda TV series. I think they actually came out and denied that, and I think they even denied the Mario series. But then
Of course.
Illumination Studios came out and confirmed that they were making a Mario animated movie. Because a lot of people thought that the Sony animated movie, or it wasn't going to be animated, it was going to be live action. They were like, well, they did that, and it didn't turn out so well. But then there was in interviews that we read with Miyamoto where he said that like he is in full control. I smacked my microphone. He's in full control over this movie, and like through the scripting process, through the casting and everything, like
No.
Nintendo has
No.
full control to be like, we don't think this is going to be any good. We're not making it. Because they want to keep
If
the
only
quality.
They thought that about Skyward Sword.
No, Skyward Sword's amazing. Oh my, no.
fired.
Oh my.
Nope.
Goodness gracious.
No! No! Oh, Daniel, I'm so sorry. It was a joke. I would never.
No.
Oh, I've never heard Daniel's voice that deep.
Leave.
That was amazing. That was like Sean Chiplock level deep.
Oh. No, I didn't know she actually left. Oh,
I
good.
would-
Two can play at that game, I see.
I feel like I need to exit and re-enter now.
Yeah, everybody just leaves and then comes back.
Speaking of Illumination, do we even know if Charles Martinet is actually voicing anyone?
No, we don't.
If someone else voices Mario,
Well, he
I'll
voices
jump out a
like all
window.
of them.
I'll go up to my work. I'll go to the 10th floor and then throw myself off the roof.
Onto a
Please
trampoline.
don't do that. Do they do that if there's like movie set level like bungee thingy to?
There's not. There's train tracks, and I'll land on the train tracks, and then a train is gonna come by.
Bad.
No, well, now Chiblima's going to be there to catch you.
Mm-mm. She'll be on the 5th
But,
floor.
like-
She'll see me through the window. She'll be, oh, there's Daniel. And then
Hey.
she'll know that someone else is voicing Mario, and it's not Charles Martinet.
How do you know this, Jublima? I have
She'll
proof.
know 'cause she
What
saw
proof?
me.
Daniel's dead.
Daniel's dead.
Wasn't there a day that she said that she was doing one of those things with Nintendo where she like she represents, you know? So
Yeah.
she was doing one of those things and Charles was supposed to be there. But then he like called in sick or something.
Oh.
So he
Well, it's
ended
like
up
he's like, oh, I can't come to Canada today.
Oh my god.
I think he may have already been in
Sorry,
Canada.
yes, Bye.
You know,
I'm not feeling so okie dokie today.
Ilya, are you okay? Did someone hurt you?
Yeah, someone's like, sorry to be rude, but what happened to her face?
Commander Thread beat me up because I was defending my best friend Gail, not love interest, but best friend Gail.
Yeah.
Oh
True.
no.
True. I got a friend zone him like that, call him out.
All right. So
If she had never
Anyways.
met PETA, she would have married Gail.
the
Yeah,
rumors,
100%.
these
100%.
these Zaldor
I'm
rumors.
so sorry.
Yeah. So I gotta get the
Do
Gryffindor
this
thing
for the
shown.
rest of the podcast.
Yeah. Okay. So the Zelda thing, Mario movie ended up being true. Now it seems like the Zelda TV series rumor turns out being true because part of the rumor was that Netflix was going to be the one producing it. Now
Oh, yeah.
the guy who produced the Castlevania series for Netflix is going to be producing this. So since he's a producer that Netflix hires for video game TV series, it seems like no one said that it's going to be produced by or made by Netflix, but it seems like it's going that way, which matches up with the original rumor from like 3 or 4 years ago. So everything's falling into place. And if this happens, maybe we can get like a really cool horror themed Metroid movie.
What themed?
Horror.
Horror?
Horror.
I did not hear the extra syllable.
What?
I thought you
Rated
were-
E for everyone?
I thought you were getting upset because I said like you didn't want it as like a scary genre.
No.
I thought you were going to be like, no, it should be action or mystery. But no, I just Apparently, I need to learn how to talk.
Oh.
See, this is like the last time that we had Holly on, and I kept on saying wolf, and you guys were like, "You're not saying wolf, you're saying a wool." And I'm
You were
like,
saying woof. That's why.
no, there was an L. There was an L.
No, there was not. It wasn't wolf. It was Holly Woof.
No, I wasn't. No. Okay. Robin, what are your thoughts on this? Yeah.
Oh, I would absolutely. Okay, so.
Okay, cool. Ilya.
Yeah. Okay.
Thoughts?
It was good.
No.
So rude.
All right, Maya.
No, but I think that it would have to be handled very, very carefully. But as long as it was being made by fans of the series who actually understood like Zelda lore, they understood what people wanted, they, knew what the fan base consists of, I think that they could definitely go ahead and create a successful kind of series, especially on Netflix, just because not only does Netflix is like accessible to many people, but most of the shows on Netflix are pretty good. I can't speak for the movies, but most of the shows that Netflix produces or just publishes are pretty good. So I think it depends, but I would love to see one. That's kind of how I feel about the DC Titans. At first I was kind of apprehensive about it, but now that I watch it, even though it's not anything like the Teen Titans, it's like I'm really excited to see what happens more in the series, and I think I would feel the same way about a Zelda franchise as well. So, just my 2 cents.
Ilya?
So. Now, Ilya.
So I'm going to link a video in the comments. The first video I ever made on YouTube with my exact thoughts on this, although I would like to make it at some point. I'm kind of the opposite. I think a series would be ruined if fans and here's why. Because fans are biased, and you're gonna have people saying, but I want Link to be like this, but I want him to be like this incarnation, but no, he should actually be this way. We need to do this story. No, we need to do that story. And I think the best way to go about it is to have people who don't know the series, because the best example I can think of is, let's say you have this really awesome actor playing a dentist. They don't know anything about dentistry, so they are going to have to research the freaking heck out of it and make sure they have an outside perspective. And I would want that for anything Zelda related, so that they can see like a musician who has never heard Zelda music but is a really good composer. I would say make sure they have the skill set first, and then if they have a good skill set, they will listen to the Zelda music, be able to understand what are the key themes as a musician, and make it all come together. I mean, I prefer it be, Koji Kondo, but just because he actually does the music for it. But I feel like fan bias would get in the way, especially with the acting. I would say if they're gonna do this, they need to have a big enough budget to hire people who are good at what they do first, not fans. Because we've seen too many fan-made things and they stink. If I made something Zelda, it would suck because I would be biased.
Can I say something?
I should never act in one of them.
Okay.
I'm almost done, I swear.
Whose podcast is this?
I'm sorry.
It's Daniel's.
No, not to you. To Jesse saying, "Can I speak?"
It's really Daniel's channel or Daniel's podcast.
No, it's Jesse's.
No. Daniel was the first one that was like, "Hey, let's do a podcast," and then like it all revolves around him. Like literally. No, like literally, it's every time we do a podcast, it's like, okay, when is Daniel free?
Oh no.
But on a positive note, if they're making something, one of the things I say in my video is the best option is to not make anything at all, because it's a video game and it's automatically gonna feel wrong because you're not Link, you're not controlling it, and to me that's gonna feel wrong. But that's just me. I don't think it would be successful because it's only gonna appeal to people who are fans of Zelda, maybe. Mm-hmm. So, but if you are going to do it, I do think a series is the best way because you have more opportunity to put more lore in, maybe add new stuff and make it different, make it Zelda but not Zelda. Because if it's too much like any specific game, people are going to be like, but technically that happened in this game, and it should technically be like this, and technically it's that. So it just needs to appeal to a general audience, not just Zelda fans. But if it's a fan-made thing, then I don't know. When I don't have a script in front of me, I go on, so I just need to shut up now.
That's why people like the podcast. Because they just put it on and listen.
That's why I get confused, because I start talking and then I'm like, wait, I just contradicted the last thing I said. Wait, crap. Shoot, thoughts. I don't have them.
It's okay. You're just confused from the brutal beating you had earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
That's just my 2 cents, and that's from my background in theater. I've noticed good skill is better than someone who maybe knows it better, because if someone has the skill and they have the passion, they will make sure they understand it. But
then imagine someone who's like that, but then they also are a huge fan of the franchise, right? So
that would be great.
Yeah.
But I just don't want the fan thing to be a huge deal.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I get what you mean when like people have a difference like of, oh yeah, we want to do this because we're really like, say if like, you know, half the people working on the show are really, really wanting to take it in a direction of like Twilight Princess, and a lot of other people want to take it in the direction of like Wind Waker. You know, obviously that's going to create a lot of problems since those games are basically exact opposites, you know? So, so I get that, but like, the reason why I think that it would be really cool, so my example was Insomniac's Spider-Man game that was recently released. Insomniac, the people who worked on that game were really, really big fans of Spider-Man, and that game has been like one of the best games that came out this year. People are really, really loving it. It's been like one of the best Spider games ever released, and so it was made by fans, and which is really cool because not only are the talented people at Insomniac working on the game, but they're also fans of the game itself. So I just thought that was like a really, really cool thing, and if they could take something like that and then also apply it to Zelda, then that would also be great. But it just depends. It seriously is totally dependent on the people who work on it.
It's true, because it could be really good, and then there's me who's like, oh, but I'd be apprehensive, you know.
Yeah.
It's difficult, and my main thing is, if it's not a video game, it's not Zelda, but nothing can be as bad as the cartoon we got back when. So, I am sad that it's probably not going to be live action, and I would prefer live action.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do about Link, though.
Well, I mean, it would be kind of interesting to see a show that would not even be taken perspective of Link. Like, maybe while Link is going on with his adventures and stuff like that, you could be following a completely different, you know, like a Zora or a Rito or something like that, and it would be like a completely separate thing. Who knows?
They actually did that when they adapted the Hunger Games books, to the movies, because the Hunger Games were told primarily through Katniss Evans' perspective. The movies, they went to other people's perspectives because it needed to be more well-rounded.
Mm-hmm.
All the options. Also, Link does speak in the manga, to be fair.
There's that. Also, there's the implication that, like, Link's not a mute, technically.
No.
There is always the implication of him speaking, you just don't hear him have,
like,
you see him gesture in almost every game. You pick your response. Let me explain, and he starts.
Isn't it?
And in,
Link's
like, there's cutscenes in Twilight Princess where he's talking with someone, his mouth moves and stuff. It's almost like he's mouthing something, like, you could tell he's speaking to the other characters. You just don't actually like hear him or see a text box for it or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there'll be times when like the characters will respond, like their text will come up as if they're responding to something that Link said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because if someone's like, "What's your name?"
Oh, exactly.
Well played.
Never mind. Go ahead, Diego.
No. If someone's like.
I'm done.
Just you go. Do it. Just do it.
If someone says, like, okay, what's your name? And then you see Link go, and then the person's like, so your name is Link, you know? So it's like, clearly, he didn't just, like, sign language like Link, right? Like, he's saying something.
Alright, so what I was gonna say.
Link.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Oh yeah, that's good actually.
So, man.
I was gonna say that I think it should be like a mix of both, and I was talking to Maya about this yesterday or the other day, a few days ago, I don't know. But it was talking about the Dragon Ball movie that everyone hated, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh my gosh.
So everyone ended up hating it because they were like, this has nothing to do with, like, it's completely different than, like, the manga and everything and the anime. Yeah, but because, like, all of the actors, everyone that worked on it, nobody was a fan or had, like, read the actual thing. They were like, yeah, we watched a few episodes when we were kids 20 years ago. But one actor that they hired to play Piccolo, which is, like, the big green alien, was a huge fan. And they had hired him and to play Piccolo, and they wanted him because he was just like a black guy, and they wanted Piccolo to be a black guy, and he was like, no, Piccolo can't be black, he has to be green. If he's not green, I'm not going to do this movie.
Yeah.
And they'd already paid him, so they were like, okay, I guess he has to be green with antennas. So something like that is like, and that was like the one thing that kind of stayed the same from the comics. So, like,
everyone in the chat is just trashing the movie right now.
Whenever I think about, like, the old anime, or, yeah, the old cartoon that was made for Zelda had, like, nothing to do with, like, the actual games. It was just people that, like, hadn't played the games or anything, and they made that. And then you have the Mario movie with, like, none of the actors or the people that wrote the movies. I think the person who wrote the movie, to get the ideas of what the movie was, he played the first level of the first Mario game and then adapted the entire movie from that first level. And yeah, like, I don't want a situation like that to happen again. Mm-hmm. And so I think it should be like the way that Nintendo's handling this Mario movie is, I think, how they should handle this Zelda TV show, to where they have Nintendo who know what quality is. So, like, if it turns out being like the old Mario cartoon or the old Mario movie or the old Zelda cartoon, then they can just be like, no, we're not going to do this because it has, like, zero to do with the game. Like, Link can't be, like, some random, like, if they cast a Goron, they can't have it looking like a normal person. That has to be the Goron that we know.
Yeah.
And
no,
that's,
that'd be awful.
And that's what I think.
That'd be weird.
Like, I don't necessarily think they would do that now, because I think people who work, like, anyone that's putting, like, millions of dollars into something like this, they're going to want the quality to be there. So I think even if they don't know anything about it, as Ilya said, they would study, and try to get everything
Hopefully.
as close as they can. Yeah. Or, like, they could have, like, Ganon being Link's dad or something. Who knows?
Oh, never.
Well, thinking about that, I was like, they're trying to formulate my thoughts. I think what I'm probably getting at, if this makes any sense, I want the designers to not necessarily be fans. But I do think it would probably make sense if people like the director and the producer are ones that understand Zelda, because when the designer comes back with a Goron design costume, if it were live action, which I know it won't be, but, like, if it were, and they look at it, or they look at this CGI and they're like, it's not even a rock, what are you doing? You know, they could be like, no, go and research again, you know. So the designers need to do their research. But it would make sense if someone like the director or the producers understood the games.
Well, even if it's not live action and it is, like, an anime or something,
it probably would be.
I would imagine that's going to be the easiest way, just for them to incorporate all of those things without having to spend, like, thousands of dollars on CGI, you know? But
I would love live action, but you would need a big budget to make that work.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you saw, like, a poorly CGI Zora or anything that wasn't just, like, a person, you would be like, no,
Why do you even bother?
You would need, like, a different castle for each of the dungeons or temples.
Yeah. See, so exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very high probability that it's going to be animated. But even then, the designers are going to have to come to an agreement on what their design for each of those things are going to look like. Because do they want it to look more like the Gorons from Twilight Princess, or they want to look like the Gorons from, from Breath of the Wild, or Zora, because the Zora in Twilight Princess, for example, are, like, all pretty much the same kind of look at things, but in Breath of the Wild, there's, like, Manta Ray Zoran, Shark Zoran, you know, all different kinds of Zoras,
Really
right?
crazy stuff.
Yeah,
I love the Breath of the
love.
Wild
Oh my
Zoras.
gosh, I know. I saw when I first saw Sidon. Well, I mean, I could talk about Sidon all day, right? But when I first, oh, yeah. But when I first saw Sidon, like in the trailer, like one of the trailers where they showed him, I was just like, oh, did he have a shark friend? And I remember just like fangirling about it because I was like, he has a literal shark on his head. Like, it's so good. So it would be really, really interesting to see that the direction that they take it, you know, even in the animated, you know, so that'd be
Which
cool.
also, speaking of Sidon, I always thought it was funny because it sounds like the second half of Poseidon.
Whoa!
Also, Poseidon is literally the Greek name meaning fishery.
That just blew my freaking mind. I
Zelda
had
does
no
not
idea.
mess around.
I hadn't. Oh,
Well, now I need to figure out what the heck Mifa means.
I was just
Hey,
thinking that. I was
Ilya?
like, Mifa.
We have a
What?
question. They want to know what happened to your face, and I'm a bit concerned as well.
I know, me too. It's very
Okay, I looked up what the name Mifa means, and it just gave me a description of who Mifa is.
No,
Oof.
etymology.
All right, Daniel, you can give us your thoughts, and we can move on to the next one.
Well, in many podcasts of the past, we've talked about my thoughts. Which is why I wasn't super like jumpy in this one, but
Yeah, but now it's like
I-
all but confirmed by Nintendo.
that's the thing. I mean, mostly I'm on the same page as Ilya, in that I would say don't adapt it, but I do think Netflix has what it takes to do so. I don't want an adaptation. It has to be a new story.
Yes.
It cannot be an adaptation of an existing game.
Like if
That
they
is
just
my-
tried to do the whole story for Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, no.
People
yeah,
would
it's
be
just
so mad.
Oh, they would
They'd
be so
If they-
upset.
picky.
They would be very
anything, it's gonna be everyone's gonna hate it, and if they just stick really rigidly to it, it's gonna suck. So it's,
Yeah.
it's so
Game first, story last for them, so...
well, exactly right.
entire
so 'cause
episodes where Redeads jump on top of you.
there are jeez. But that's the thing is like these games are made like with a gameplay idea first in mind, and then they kind of just build the story after that. And when you're developing a TV show or a movie, it's narrative first. You need a narrative that drives everything, and it wouldn't translate well. So I know people are like, I want to see an Ocarina of Time movie. I want to see Twilight Princess movie. It's just like
No, you don't.
You don't really
You
want
don't
to see that. You should play the game. You just want to play the game, or you can watch a Let's Play of it. How about that? I don't know.
That's basically a movie, right there.
Yeah.
I actually went on YouTube and looked up all the cutscenes for Twilight Princess just because I wanted to watch the cutscenes.
I mean, it is pretty well movie, but the thing is, like, in Zelda games, those are probably the part I'm in it for the least, is, like, the cutscenes and the story. Like, I love the story, I'm really into the lore and stuff, but I want to play the game. That's my first, like, priority, you know?
Yeah.
There are things I love about the gameplay. And then there's basically like a fourth dimension that you're losing out on when adapting something, right?
Yeah.
So you got, you know. Yeah, I'm not articulating very well today. So,
Well,
but
something.
It's the same thing that happens when you adapt books to movies, and
totally.
I need to say this to myself too. When and if I watch this, the same thing I had to tell myself every time, you know, you watch Harry Potter or you watch The Hunger Games, it will not be the same.
Yeah.
And you have to just throw that out the window and be like, you cannot make it the same. It is impossible. So when people are like, oh, it's not like the game, which would be me saying that, I have to remember, because it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
But at the same time, I mean, you're kind of running out of things. Well, I'm not running out of things, but like, think about how many book to movie adaptations there are out there compared to game to movie or show adaptations. There's not really that many at all, right? So it's
Right.
cool. It's cool to kind of open up that concept and see it come to life. But
Yeah.
it has to be handled very carefully with series like Zelda that already have a massive fan base that you're gonna really anger a lot of people if you mess it up, you know?
Yeah, which is why the fans from the get-go will have to be like, I can't expect to get the same feeling from this that I'll get from a video game. Just like you can't walk into, you know, watching Harry Potter expecting to have the same exact feeling you did when you read it.
Right.
Because it's different. It's
Yeah.
different mediums of art.
Also, I just realized I'm Robin and my cat's name is actually Starfire, so this is like perfect.
Oh, hey.
This is
There's a
actually
cat
perfect.
outside our apartment we call Batman.
Aw, that's awesome.
I love it.
So before we move on, the final thing that I would like to say is that Miyamoto did say that, I don't know if this is actually happening with the Mario movie, but he said that if Nintendo ever did make a movie, it would have to be interactive somehow. And I don't know what that means. I don't know how you can have a movie playing on the screen with like 100 people in the audience all interacting individually with the movie. And Miyamoto said something like, if he can't make that happen...
Rumble.
Yeah.
Well,
just have vibrating seats every time Mario jumps.
the theater that's near me, they updated, you know, so like there's like the lounge recliners and stuff, but there are these chairs now that like if you go see an action movie, it's like a really mini roller coaster where the chair moves around with the movie. Like you feel things as they're happening.
That
So, like
just
if a bunch of
sounds
characters fall from the sky
distracting.
in the car.
They
It
have-
does, but it's almost like if you've ever been on the Star Wars ride in Hollywood Studios at Disney World, or the Hogwarts Castle ride in Universal Studios. It's like that, where you're watching a scene play out, but you're just kind of moving with it. More the Star Wars one than anything, but maybe
thing is
less
with that,
jolty.
It's like, you don't go into that and you're like, I'm gonna go and get into the story for this ride. You know, you're going for the ride,
That's true.
and you're aware that it's like, this is a ride the whole way through it, and you're not. It's like it has that, you know, that feel to it, and that's sort of the intention. If you're going into a movie and suddenly it becomes a ride, I feel like that would just pull me out of the movie. I'd be like,
Yeah.
damn. In
Well,
the
it might be a
ride.
little less. It might be something like the seat heats up if it's a hot area or something. I don't know exactly.
But what
'cause
if you're a
I've never done
sweaty
so-
person and then it's gonna just be like uncomfortable for you?
Okay.
Okay,
When you
so
said the
there
sea
is-
heats up, I just imagined
I don't know
in
if it
Super
does.
Mario 64 when you fall into the lava and Mario's butt catches on fire and he's like, ah, and he like bounces through the air.
No, okay,
No,
so
that's
there
interactive.
is a thing that's like a 4D or XD theater, something like that. And when you go to them, they have seats like that, and they also like vibrate and stuff. But they also have like, if it's snowing in the movie, there'll be like snow coming down from the theater. If like a car,
Popcorn.
if a car burns out,
Yeah.
you'll smell like
Yeah.
burnt rubber in the theater. If like
I don't like
someone,
that.
if something, if like
I actually want smell-o-vision.
No,
No.
but they have all that. Like if there's something that's prominent on screen, like strawberries or flowers, you'll smell them. Or if there's like, if it's snowing, it'll snow in the
That's
theater. Like it's
breaking
really.
the fourth wall. That's like too much for me.
No,
right?
but you can look it up. It's like
the movie now.
Okay,
I go
so do you
see
know-
smell-o-vision and there's something cherry smells.
when we were in
I will
LA,
puke.
the Microsoft Theater that we
What?
weren't able to get passes to, Daniel, the Microsoft
Right.
Theater that was like right there
across
at
from Staples
LA
Center.
Live. Yeah, it was like 2 seconds away from the coffee Starbucks place. Anyways, there's one of those in there. In the Microsoft Theater. There's like one of
Wow.
those 40 XD theaters, whatever it's called. You guys can look it up. Anyways, next question, right? Yeah.
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 Or not question, next news
Next
thing.
topic thingy.
Next topic.
Daniel, I posted something in the Discord about
I
something.
saw that.
Would you like to tell us about that something?
Yes, there are details of a lost, unreleased Nintendo VR console that doesn't exist
You don't
anymore.
need to tell me about the Virtual Boy, alright?
It's not. Oh no, the Virtual Boy released.
Unfortunately.
It shouldn't have.
That wasn't really VR so much as like really early 3D.
It kind of looks. It looks kind of like how VR looks nowadays. Like
It
with
does,
it
totally
pressed
does,
up to
except-
your face.
Except you have it's on a stand, right? So you have to, like, it doesn't attach to your face. You have to attach your face to it.
Yeah.
So it's a little backwards.
Yeah. They were working out
Um,
the kinks back then.
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing, but actually the funny is because the Virtual Boy does come into play here for this thing.
Yes.
So it was that era. So don't worry, we're not missing out here. There was a video on Did You Know Gaming that talks about it as well, but you should watch that after the podcast, guys. But here's an article from VR Focus is the website. They just really like VR, I guess.
Wow.
I would say they're focused on it.
They're very focused on VR. I would say like it's one of their priorities.
Yeah.
Like probably one of their top
VR and then Cinnabons.
Oh yeah.
That's their order. VR and then Cinnabon.
Delicious. So they write, for those who have an interest in the earlier days of virtual reality, VR, there are a few missteps more memorable than the Virtual Boy, the failed Nintendo VR console released in 1995. However, it seems that Nintendo did have an opportunity to avert that disaster, as British developer Jeremy Jez Sands reveals. Although, I don't know if avert, like, I don't know if they would have, as a side note, avoid the disaster of the Virtual Boys so much as it just may have been a different disaster. But we'll go moving on. Jeremy, also known as Jez or Jason, he's a really cool guy with cool nicknames. He was the founder of Argonaut, the developer that created the pioneering Super FX chip that brought 3D to the Super Nintendo, along with Star Fox, one of the first titles to make use of the technology. The company was also involved with the created prototype for a different VR console. J-Man, Jeremy Jarrer, explained to the Metro that he was involved with creating a VR video game system referred to as the Supervisor. No, not your boss. You wear it.
You used to be a supervisor, Daniel.
I did use
They were making you. They were making a clone of you.
Wow. I was not a supervisor in 1995, though. I was a toddler, but
I wasn't born yet.
I was an infant.
Oh boy.
Or about to exit the room, one or the other. Well, actually, I would be an infant either way. But anyway.
Though San was unable to produce any prototypes or any pictures or any actual evidence of the supervisor in action, he had some impressive claims about his capabilities, saying that his VR system was far more powerful and capable than the Virtual Boy, as it was capable of not only full color graphics, but also
the NES had full color graphics too.
But it was
head tracking, which would have been deeply impressive with the technology at the time. Actually, head tracking didn't exist on a Nintendo until the new 3DS. I believe the original 3DS did not have head tracking as well.
What about the Power Glove? Had motion tracking.
Hand tracking.
That was hand tracking. Well, and barely, honestly, barely.
But if you put it on your head.
There you go. NES had head tracking. Kinda. So, by contrast, the Virtual Boy was heavily criticized on its release in 1995 for its unpleasant, red-on-black graphics, poor ergonomics of the device, and its sheer expense. Nintendo only produced 22 titles for the system before quietly withdrawing it from sale.
It would have done better if they would have. They were working on Mario Kart, but they never released it. And if they would have, it would have totally been great because every Mario Kart game is good.
I don't know.
Except for Mario Kart Wii, I hate it. So, anyways,
I love that one.
Unpopular opinion. I hate it.
Says the guy who doesn't even have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on his Switch.
And
has never played Mario Kart 7.
I just don't want to buy it again.
See, I bet you don't even know what this is.
It's a purple shell, aka not the right color.
Ooh. Them's fighting words.
Anyways, he says, we had full color and head tracking at a time when no one else did, but the Supervisor was canceled in favor of a system with no head tracking and red graphics, San said. It was like the Vive headset that's on sale today, but made 20 years earlier. Of course, it wasn't quite as good because the Vive has better screens now, but ours was made a long time ago. We almost finished the Supervisor, and it was canceled to do the Virtual Boy, which was a shame. VR gaming could have happened 20 years ago if they had kept us on.
Okay,
What?
here's the thing.
I don't
So
know.
the Super Nintendo was 16-bit. The Nintendo 64, obviously, 64-bit. The VR system, Virtual Boy, was 32-bit. Like almost the same as like a Game Boy Advance or
Right.
like Sega, whatever. Or the PlayStation. The first PlayStation was 32-bit. So this thing, if it was more powerful than the Virtual Boy, then it also would have had to have been like
At
64-bit.
least had those two things that
Yeah.
the Virtual Boy didn't.
Yeah, so like it would have been like a Nintendo 64 on your face. And this was 1995. Like a year before this Nintendo 64 released.
It's true.
So if theirs were
23
like
years ago.
if their Virtual Boy or virtual reality console was canceled so they could start working on the Virtual Boy, then
That's what he says, at least.
yeah. But again, he
I
has no
think-
pictures or proof or anything else. So maybe this was
No.
just an idea that they had in a boardroom meeting.
And then Nintendo's like,
really wants to
no.
brag about it.
Like, it could have been that they pitched it, and Nintendo's like, well, we're kind of doing this thing already, and we owe Gunpei because he invented the freaking Game Boy.
Like the Yoshi game.
So,
They made the was it them? The company they
Was
made
it?
the 3D Yoshi game. It would have been like the very
Oh.
first. Yeah, it was going to be the very
It was
first
gonna
3D
be.
game ever, or 3D platformer. But it was Yoshi, and Nintendo was like, "Well, we're doing a thing with Mario. It's cool that you made Yoshi, but we don't want it." So then they turned it into Croc, the dinosaur.
Jax?
Croc.
Croc?
Croc.
Crocs? Don't wear Crocs.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, hi guys. What are your
I don't know.
thoughts? Yeah,
I just feel like this
I
would have been
think-
bad, and he's really nostalgic about it, but it
Yeah.
probably would have been really bad.
So there's another
agree.
thing I want to say. I don't know if it's him, but it was someone else at Argonauts. It was one of the people, like one of the main people at Argonaut that worked on Star Fox,
Was
said
it
that
Dylan Cuthbert?
said that I don't know, said that Super Mario FX was never actually a thing. It was just a code name for the chip, but it was a code name for the chip, but it was also a thing because in the video we literally have the interview where Miyamoto is talking about how he worked on it before Super Mario 64, and then there's people, it's like, well, blah 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 said, and I'm like, if anyone knew they were working on a 3D Mario game before Super Mario 64, I'm pretty sure it would have been the guy who worked on it, not someone who worked at a third party that just kind of sort of
Yeah.
had a partnership with Nintendo and made one game or
And
two
keep
games.
in mind also, like, yeah, there probably would have been NDA stuff, so he may not have known about it, what they were working on. And also, this is interviews from, like, the last few years, and they're asking this guy who doesn't work at Nintendo about an unreleased Nintendo game 20 years ago. So if his answer is, like, kind of unsure, and he's like, yeah, no, I don't think this was a real thing, it's like, you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt as well, because even, like, the time span that has passed since then as well is, like, versus an interview from then where Miyamoto's like, yeah, I've been working on this thing.
Yeah, because you
know,
literally
kind of-
have the interviews where Miyamoto's like, yeah, before Super Mario 64, we experimented with the 3D Mario game, but it didn't really go anywhere. And then the Nintendo they were going to do it, but they were also working on the Nintendo 64, and they were like, we just moved it over to the Nintendo 64, and it's like, okay, well, like he literally says that you can't go by someone's tweet like 20 years later when like this interview from the time he talks. Anyways, I don't know, it's stupid. I dislike people that think they know everything without researching, because we put hours and days and weeks into research.
And by we, just really Jesse does.
When the most
he does
excited
all the work.
the most excited I got from doing research was when I found that that shut down website from Nintendo from like 20 years ago. And then I was like, we gotta get Tony. He's the only one that'll know.
That was a gold mine.
Yeah, there was Nintendo talking about Zelda 64 when it was supposed to release in like 1996 or 7 before it actually released in 1998.
Wow.
Yeah, back when it started as Adult Link instead of Child Link.
Jeez.
Yeah. Anyways, Bob, what's our next thing? The Wii prototype.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Maya,
love
do
this.
you want to take it, Maya?
Take what?
The Wii
When?
prototype for the GameCube.
It's like all in Japanese.
What? Daniel, do
You
you
can't
want
read
do you want
that?
do you want to take it, Daniel?
Essentially what it is, guys, here's the gist, okay? What was recently unearthed on Twitter was an old prototype from the Wii's development days. And it got like suddenly popped up on an auction thing. So the GameCube that it's tied to as well, there's a video about this on Tony's channel. Speaking of Tony, I'm gonna take, it's hard to talk with that on actually.
Where did Bob go?
He's making burgers. There's this teal blue GameCube that is paired with this is like a development GameCube unit as well. There's a great video where Tony actually has one of those GameCubes in that color. So that's not a retail GameCube.
That's why that's why we called Tony when we
It's
found
such a
that
cool
website.
color. I
It
like
really is.
I
wish they
love
had
it. I
released
wish
that
they
color.
right. I love it. I want that. I love that color. And then basically it's an early prototype Wii remote that has a GameCube controller port. So it's not wireless. Like it plugs into the GameCube. It's got this like huge long coiled up cord. And a really much bulkier than the final release for the sensor bar. Nunchuck looks pretty well the same, except the cable's different. It has an Ethernet port cable. So probably they just were taking like what they could find to make it work.
Yeah.
It seems like a very old, like the buttons are different on it a little bit. The 1 and 2 button are actually a lowercase A and B. So you've got uppercase A and B and then lowercase A and B. So I'm really glad that they changed that for the final release. Because if someone's like press A, you're like, okay, which one? So yeah, that's and then it's like captioned.
It looks like
Nintendo
the
Revolution.
normal NES controller colors, where it's like gray and black.
minus the
red button.
minus the
Yeah.
red buttons.
Yeah.
But
You just have what? What? Okay. In that
I
case,
just have things around. Good. Very good. Otherwise, like, there's no power button, but I guess the GameCube's controller didn't have that either. So there's no power button. And then
there's no power
it does
button.
have the home button though. That's the thing. But it seems like it was just a very like early test development unit, and the auction does have it labeled as Revolution, which was the Wii's like code name when it was working when it was in development. So it's like the GameCube was the Dolphin, the Wii was the Revolution because they were revolutionizing gaming, etc. NX as we know. I think the Wii U was Cafe. This is weird.
Yeah. Project
Coffee shop,
Cafe.
Project
I remember
Cafe,
it leaked like
I
2
thought of
days.
Cafe from Majora.
Oh no.
No, I did too when it first released, but I remember it was like 2 days before E3 or like whenever they announced it, and someone posted online, it's like, hey, Nintendo's doing like, they published a thing, what's it called when you try to get the patents? Yeah, they patented a thing with like a controller that had a screen on it for a console, and the console looked exactly like the Wii U, and it was only 2 days before they officially announced it, and I was like, there's no way they're doing something this stupid. And then they did it, and I was like, oh, okay, well, jeez.
Oh, yes,
I guess they
apparently
did something
they are.
that stupid.
Just kidding.
Oops.
But
But yeah, so it looks really cool. Like, definitely not useful. But I mean,
So
it looks
rude.
like a really cool collector's piece. I have a feeling it's going to end up in Tony's hands at one point,
Probably.
just at some point soon.
Someone flew him, super metal Jesus Rocks.
Oh, Jesus Rocks.
Yeah, flew Tony out and like paid for his hotel and everything.
Oh,
So that he could-
64DD.
Yeah, so that he could
Right?
test a
Wow.
development disc,
Yeah.
Nintendo 64. Because he was like, hey, I got this thing, I have no idea what to do with it. So this thing that I bought for like a few $100s, I'm going to spend a few $1,000s to fly you out so you can check this thing that was only a few
Holy
hundred.
cow.
Yeah.
That's
Because
crazy.
Tony had the hardware for it.
Dang.
But
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is like on his channel, like people will like just, like FedEx stuff to him.
Yeah.
So that he can like take a look at it, see if it's authentic and real
one
and
day
everything.
he's
And then
gonna
he'll
get one
send
with
it back.
Ura Zelda.
One day.
You think so?
He got the Super Mario 64 disc drive version.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
There's
There
not
was-
much you can do with it, but
Yeah.
he got it.
There was only like one
Yeah.
copy that was ever made, and they used it at like Space World just to show off what the 64 disc drive was, and somehow Tony has a copy. And it's like, how did you
That's
do that? Like, whenever you start it up, instead of having Mario's face where you can like poke at him, it just says Super Mario 64 disc version, and then it has different songs, or not different
But-
songs, but
He's very diligent because there was one person that sent him like a beta Wind Waker, and
Oh, yeah.
he totally figured it out that it was fake.
yeah, it was just
Oh,
like
really?
a ROM
Yeah,
hack.
it was a
He's
fake.
legit with his work.
He's very thorough. He's
Tony, if you're watching.
Tony, we love you. So,
And he talked so sweet about Ilya. He was
no.
like, she has the sweetest voice.
He was
She-
like,
it's because
"Oh,
he
she's
longs
like-
to be young
it's
again.
just-" He was like saying stuff about like he was like, it's just such an underrated channel. It's in the growing stages and it really needs to grow. And I'm just like,
You need to go on and have
and
a
then,
beer
like,
with
within
him.
10 minutes, I had subscribers and I was like,
Ilya, you need to go on the podcast and have a beer with him.
Wow, jeez, Tony needs to go check out my channel.
I stream on Twitch.
All right, Daniel. Daniel, tell us about this.
I mean, it's really cool. Okay, so the article is really just screenshots of the tweets that are in Japanese. I cannot read them. But
Wait, you can't read those?
But what I am gonna do is post a link in the live
It says,
chat here
this
to
is
the
what I
Go
wanted to
Nintendo.
do. I got the remote control and nunchuck for Revolution because I use the terminal of the GameCube controller. I attach it to the GameCube, but I can't use it.
How what? How do you know that's what it says?
'Cause
he
it's
reads in
written.
Japanese.
It's written there.
In and not in English.
You mean you can't speak Japanese, Daniel? You're from Canada. You should know how to...
I know how to speak Canadian.
No, like, if you go to the tweet, you
for
can
sure,
click
we're
translate
gonna go down
tweet.
to the Thames and have a brewski with the Pint Bros, and then we're gonna go and lip back on the Chesterfield, and would you know they're gonna have some poutine for lunch, eh? Yeah,
Some
yeah,
poutine.
okay, howsers.
And then
No.
you just apologize.
There was
like,
just every
every-
Canadian
Uh,
stereotype.
The second
Yeah.
one says, I tried to check it because I was anxious. The display of the text did not change when it was an initial type and a late type. The third one, the final picture says, connected the Revolution sensor bar to the GameCube memory card slot. Maybe this is just like getting the power from the slot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it's because they didn't have a port on the GameCube to actually plug the sensor bar into, so they probably just made it work
Yeah.
with however they could at
This-
the time, right?
This development console is probably what they used to, like, because Twilight Princess, you know, like, this is probably what they used to
Oh,
program
yeah.
all of the motion controls for it.
Probably, actually. I
Yeah.
mean, like, because essentially, like, it's just
A Wii's like a supercharged, like an overclocked
Mhm.
GameCube. It's just, it's
It's
literally a
really
GameCube at like a higher clock speed.
Yeah, it's not very superior. It has widescreen.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's like,
That's why I got Twilight Princess on the Wii, the GameCube.
yeah, I think it's like 2 to 3 times more powerful than the GameCube, and that's it. Which isn't nothing. It's enough to make things widescreen that weren't widescreen before.
Yeah.
Daniel, what were you saying? You had what? I interrupted you. I'm sorry. It's
What-
Ilya's
what
fault.
did
Are you okay, Ilya?
What was I saying?
be right back. I drank a ton of water, so I'll be right back.
Are you okay?
Break.
RPG in the chat just asked, did Maya beat up that girl?
Maya did beat up that
Dang
girl.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think
I
this
think
is really
RPG.
cool, right?
It is so cool.
Like, I can't wait until Tony breaks it apart and like spills beer all over it. No, he
does
doesn't.
not
He doesn't
spill
do that. He
his
just
beer.
he's just
He drinks responsibly.
he does. Everyone comments on his things like, "Why are you drinking beer?" And he's like, "Because I'm an adult." Like, I
The
drink
guy
one
can't
beer.
have one drink
Yeah,
over the course of like 3 hours that he's filming.
yeah. He
Yeah,
spends
I-
like 3 to 6 hours filming a video, and he just has like the 1, maybe 2 beer the entire time. And people are like, "You drank that really fast." And it's like, "Yeah, you watch like a 2-minute video." It's like, I was
It's
drinking
called-
it first.
It's called editing. And
I felt bad because like I never really drink unless it's like special occasions, but I wanted, like, if I could go back, I would have had a beer when I was on the podcast. That way I would have fit in
oh yeah.
when I was on his podcast.
If I
a
ever
few
end
weeks
up
ago.
on Tony's
But
podcast,
he wants you
I
guys
will.
on there, right?
Yeah, I didn't know until it was already going.
No, but
Just like,
he
I'm
said
going on the Hardcore Games podcast, and then like halfway through it, he messages me. He's like, "Tony wants you on the podcast." I'm like, "I am doing other things right now."
no. He
That
said it
sounds about
after
right.
after the podcast. He was like, "Yeah, it'd be really cool if we could get Ilya or Daniel or anyone else on." And he's like, "If you know anyone, please let us know because they don't really know that many people."
I'm so flattered that he would request me because I'm like sitting here and I'm like the fan of his channel. So I was like,
Why is HMK
I'm like,
mad?
why is HMK mad?
I don't
He's
know.
always
HMK
mad.
mad?
He has two states, mad and hype. There's no middle ground.
Yeah, that's what
100%
it.
accurate.
It's hyped, mad, and killer. So he has those 3 stages.
Damn.
He's never
I'm
gotten.
sure that the third one is just like the next step from the second one.
He's never actually killed anyone that we know of.
He's gonna see the Netflix Zelda animated series, and then he's
Maybe
gonna
that's
turn
why he's
into the
mad.
killer.
He's gonna go from
Maybe,
hyped, and then he's gonna
maybe.
see it. He's gonna be mad. Then he's
Maybe.
oh
Yeah.
no.
Man, oh man.
We seen HMK, but he was like in line, and I didn't want to wait in line.
He was
so
too busy.
yeah.
We were just rushing to get to the Nintendo
But
section.
there was a bunch of cool people like Cliff, or what's his YouTube? Nintendo.
The Game
No, yeah,
Informer?
the game, yeah, the Game Informer is his thing.
Or
so,
on,
like-
on Switch, TGN Former.
Yeah, he came up to us and like sat down with us in like in the middle of nowhere and started eating with us. Like,
He's a cool dude.
we were just sitting on
So
the floor
cool
eating.
that we brought him back to our Airbnb and he schooled me at Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Hey.
No, he came back, or he found us
He
while
said-
we were just
He
like
said,
sitting
"I played
there.
I played too much Mario Kart. I'm sorry." I said,
And he went out
"I
to
love you. It's
he went out to
okay."
dinner with us when we
did.
went to Korean barbecue with Hailey and Cece.
Yeah. No, it was a cool time.
I wasn't
What?
there.
Now, are you coming next year?
I would love to.
I'm already getting E3 emails.
Really?
Yeah,
they're like, don't forget, you're coming back. You're coming back next year. E3, you can't buy your tickets yet, but don't forget about it.
no. So
Thanks.
I'm gonna try to like do everything as soon as possible this year because last time I waited until like a month before, and the ticket price in my head I was like, oh, it's only gonna be this much, and then it was literally twice as much when I went to buy it, and I was like, no.
Oh, for your like airline tickets.
Yeah, I made it home.
Oh yeah.
Are we talking
With-
about E3?
Yeah, I made it home. I went from LA on an airplane back to my house with $6 in my pocket. Yeah.
Sounds like my entire
RPG.
junior year of college.
Yeah, RPG in the chat says that Conrad from Commonwealth Realm is really cool, and we met him while we were there.
Yeah, they invited us to
and he
their
is really
Airbnb.
cool.
So
And we were talking about Metroid, and he yelled at Joey Ferris across the room. He said, this guy right here, I like him."
Who?
I'm like, yes. Who? I won Conrad's approval.
Who?
Talking about Metroid. Conrad, he yelled at Joey. We were talking about Samus's shoulders. I know, it's a really weird thing. But
What?
Is it because they're
I
massive?
don't know Metroid.
Yes.
So I guess
Yeah.
I should.
We're talking about, okay, basically Samus's suit design. I mentioned to Conrad.
Massive pauldron.
Yeah, I mentioned to Conrad that I felt for Smash Ultimate they should have been updated to, instead of the Metroid Other M design, to the Metroid Samus Returns design. And apparently that made Conrad and Joey start yelling at each other. They do that a lot apparently, but but apparently Conrad and I were on the same page about that, and so I basically won his approval. Through just that one sentence that
No,
I said.
I
for you.
have something to show, and then we can move on to the next thing.
It's a great moment for me.
Tubes is in there
What?
too. So that's us
Oh,
when
yeah.
they invited us to their Airbnb. If it'll,
Oh yeah, I've seen that picture.
That was
Aw,
a great time.
it won't.
it's blurry.
I'm so short. That's a hand.
That is big.
You're
There you
Oh,
go.
short.
no, it's
Daniel,
not blurry.
Daniel, how tall are you?
5'10".
4-2, no 4-2, 5-2,
5-1.
5-2.5.
Oh no.
Ilya, I feel you. I feel you.
Their
Oh.
apartment looked like the
Is it
perfect
Cece,
bachelor
like, under
place.
5 feet?
Yeah, she's like
Yeah.
4'10".
She's a very small person.
She's like an entire foot shorter than Daniel.
So, if we were ever able to go to E3,
You would be the tall
my
one.
Cece and I just need to stay together and be like, hi.
Hello.
Yeah. So that
I mean,
picture.
You need to assign
If you're
a
all
short
together-
person to every tall person, because like whenever I get lost in crowds, I always grab the tallest person in my group by their shirt and just follow them.
Oh
I
jeez.
get lost.
We'll
So-
call Rick
I'll
back.
I'll wear my
Rick,
scarf
my
and then you can
friend
hold
hood.
on to my scarf.
There you
No,
go.
don't wear anything hot while you're there. Like just
It's California. Why would you wear something hot?
Like,
no. I
had
mean
to buy
like
shorts specifically for that trip.
but like
I'm from Florida. I don't have to worry about that.
Okay, well I'm Canadian, so
Arizona.
I actually feel better there because there's
It's
no
cold.
humidity.
think about this.
He's so
You're-
cold.
You're literally sorry. You're literally standing in line with 1,000 other people.
Mm-hmm. It's hot.
Like
Sounds
it took like
Disney World except no humidity.
well, there's no
Inside.
air either. Like we took us like 2 hours to play Smash Brothers, and then like it was a 3-hour wait to get into the line to play Pokemon.
And the line would have been like
See,
3
you're
hours.
not making E3 sound appealing to me.
No, it is.
But it's all of that with friends.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Way easier waiting in line.
I would rather just
no. So you
hang out
can
with you guys
you can bring
with a cheaper airline.
you can bring
and go
your
somewhere else.
Switch. You can bring your
Hey.
Switch or 3DS so that you can like play stuff while you're in line. So like next E3, we'll all be able to play like Super Mario Party with each other while we're in line to play the other
We can all
things.
play Smash.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
we
true.
should,
Instead of-
because then everyone will know.
Instead of waiting in
Oh,
line
God,
to
you
play
remember-
Smash Brothers, what would we be
terrible
waiting in
at-
line for next year?
Animal Crossing.
And hopefully it comes out before E3 next year. That would be the
True,
dream.
true. It
Yeah.
should be, I wish it would. I would hope it would be summer.
I say it's the next Zelda order game, or the Mario DLC, or Super Mario Odyssey, because that's our next news story, guys.
What do you know? Great segue.
Yay.
Okay, so
And then you actually use like a Segway, like the thing that you like.
Just you
Yeah,
ride on it. You're-
so did any of you watch the video that I posted yesterday or the day before
Yes.
Yes.
about the possible DLC for Breath of the Wild?
Yes.
It's in my watch later.
All right, so it went from like a 1% chance to like in the video I joke around. I said it to you and Daniel in the Discord group, but like it went from a 1% chance to like a 10% chance that it might happen. Okay, so the one that I read was from Go Nintendo, but this one's gonna be from IGN because I can't find the Go Nintendo one. I love Go Nintendo though; they helped me out a lot when I first started my channel.
Whoa,
Great
hold
segue.
on.
We got a
20,
super
20,
chat.
20, 20.
Oh, read it, Mr.
Roman.
D-Man.
Roman, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, Roman. Donated $20, says Happy Spooktober.
Thank you.
Just want to say
I'm Harry
I love
Longton. Harry Lonker. Yeah, I'm Harry Lonker.
I'm beat up
Just want to
Katniss.
say I love the
Love it.
podcast. I don't have a question, by the way. Just wanted to show my appreciation.
Oh, Dankeschön.
Thank you.
Vielen Dank.
Thank you.
We love you, Roman. Platonically.
Join the Discord and we'll give you hugs.
Join the Discord, and then when
Platonic
you
hugs.
do have a question,
You can give it to us for the mailbag.
give it to us and say, "Remember that time
I paid for 50 questions.
I paid for so many questions."
Daniel raising an eyebrow with a mustache is an odd combination.
I love it.
All right.
Honestly, it's the best.
Ilya, would you like to take this
Ilya.
one, or Maya?
Take
Would
it.
you like to take this one?
Which
Except,
one?
like, I don't know where we are.
Okay, hold
I'm
on.
muted.
This one takes the place of the Bethesda one, or I don't know, like the other. I don't know. This is just—it's really important. I feel.
Oh yeah.
So what you do, Maya, is you're just like, Hello everyone, I'm Maya. On this thing, we're going to be talking about Nintendo's president wants more DLC for existing big titles. This comes from IGN. Joe Screbbles, a made-up name, says, for those wishing yeah, and then you go. Joe Screbbles is a made-up name, by the way. It's a fake name they use whenever they have weird stories.
Would you like my cousin?
Your cousin's fake?
What?
You call my cousin fake?
What? I don't want to, what are you talking about?
Wow.
Southern Alien came out to play.
How dare you?
Southern Alien.
He always calls me out whenever my southern comes out.
What did you do with
in the
Alien?
chat, Karl Marx for Smash. Count me in.
Karl Marx, what?
Thank you. Joseph Stalin in the chat.
Oh, Neptune.
Oh, God.
Karl Marx for Smash. I'm in.
So, would you like for me to read the whole article, or just some of the article? A little bit of the article? It's taking like 9 billion years to load for me.
Oh, really? Just the first 3 paragraphs, right?
Alright, I got you. Alright, cool. So, do you want me to do your whole like, hi there, my name is Maya. This is Game Over Jesse's channel. We're gonna.
If you don't have to say that this is Jesse, you just have to say this is Maya. This is the news. Here we go.
All right. Hi, my name is Maya, and we are going to be talking today about how Nintendo president wants more DLC for existing big titles, which is great. All right, so there is an article. We have a fake name, Mr. Joe Screbbles, saying, for those wishing for more Super Mario Odyssey Kingdoms or Zelda story content, there might be a glimmer of hope, as Nintendo president Shuntaro Furukawa has said that he wants to see more DLC for existing major titles on Nintendo consoles. At Nintendo's latest earnings meeting, as reported by Bloomberg's Yuji Nakamura, Furukawa said, "We need continuous growth. We must keep releasing new software that includes DLC and other contents for big titles that are already out."
Yeah.
Which is great.
There's more to the quote that they don't have here, where the president says that they want to put even more of a focus on online games.
Yes. So like online multiplayer and
Yeah.
like DLC and stuff, which
Which
you
kind
made a
of,
video about.
yeah, because I was like,
Several.
this goes along with what Aonuma said. When Aonuma was like, hey, we want to take what we learned from Triforce Heroes and put it in with Breath of the Wild. And I'm like, well, that means multiplayer, next Zelda game's multiplayer, right?
Yes,
Like, if
but I
he's-
think that they would, again, have to handle that very, very carefully, you know? It's
They
one of
need to
those
give us
things.
Triforce Heroes 2. You're muted, Bob.
By the way, I thought I was unmuting myself, but I was muting myself. News Race Cars in the chat says, Ilya, are you okay?
Yeah. Are you okay,
Someone
Ilya?
else said I need to stop picking fights.
You should see the other guy.
That's what I said when I got my concussion. I was like, you should see the other guy. My friend was like,
The
the
br-
ball.
Yeah,
The wall. I was like,
Yeah, you should see it. The blood splatter was.
the impression of my cheekbone on it. Right here.
Yeah, so this basically, he says that they want DLC, or he wants DLC for already released big games. What are the 3 biggest games that Nintendo's released so far, Daniel? I mean, Bob. Do you know the 3 biggest
Zelda.
games Nintendo has released?
A Zoldor.
Yes.
A Mario.
Yes.
Probably another Mario.
Mario Kart, yeah. So
There you
that
go.
one.
Mario,
That one.
Mario Odyssey,
Mario, but in cars.
Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart, and Breath of the Wild are the 3 biggest games that they've released. And in my video, I made the point to where Aonuma did say that he's done with Breath of the Wild. He wrote it in the book.
He's done with.
Yeah, he's done with Breath of the Wild. He's moved on to the next Zelda game, which is, from everything we've learned, is most likely a multiplayer game. But with that, so the way most companies like Call of Duty and all of these other places, whenever they release a big game, they'll release the main game. They might work on one DLC set for it, but then they have a third team, like a third-party team, that works on more DLC packs. Even Street Fighter V did that, where a lot of people complained because Street Fighter, like Capcom made Street Fighter 5, and then they hired a third-party team or whatever to work, or like a secondary team to work on the DLC, and the DLC characters came out, and the artwork for the characters looked like complete crap compared to the ones that Capcom made. So Capcom had to go back and like redo some of the artwork and stuff, and like they had to put out like an edited version or something like that. And I think that's what Nintendo would do, to where Aonuma and his main team would move on from Breath of the Wild to whatever they're working on. But if the president's like, hey, we're going to make DLC for big titles that's already released, obviously we haven't gotten the big Mario Odyssey DLC pack yet.
Yeah.
We haven't got Mario Odyssey's Champion Ballad.
To fight a monk in that one.
Yeah, spoilers.
Well, it's a monkey, actually.
Yeah, that would be great. Fight Donkey Kong, have him come back.
Yeah.
That'd be
excellent. That's what they did for the DLC for Mario
Rabbids.
Yeah, they had you play as Donkey Kong.
I actually really love that DLC.
Yeah.
It's really it's more like a really small sequel, but no, it's really good.
Yeah. So with this, what do you guys think? Because we're going to talk about the two things. The one quote here about the DLC for past games. Do you think Nintendo could go back and put DLC to it? Because again, like Aonuma could say all day, I don't want to do this. But if the president's saying, hey, you have to do this, then he has to do this. Just like with Zelda Wii U, one of the things that he first said about it is like he doesn't want it to be like a single player experience, and it turns out the entire game is single player. So obviously someone like over him at Nintendo was like, hey, I know you want to make a multiplayer Zelda game, but we're already taking so many risks with this game. There's no traditional dungeons, the bombs are like this, you have the Sheikah Slate, all this stuff's in there, it's open world, you start on this weird thing and then you go out and do stuff. We have voice acting, so like it already took so many different risks. Maybe they were like, you know, the multiplayer aspect was like one too far, that they didn't want to take that risk. So the higher ups at Nintendo, Miyamoto, whoever, was like, hey, I know you want to make a multiplayer Zelda game, but how about we just do this instead? And then Aonuma, once again, like Aonuma said in interviews that because before he worked on Ocarina of Time, he worked on, I forgot what it was, but it was another game that wasn't Zelda, and they were like, hey, you did a good job. Come work on Zelda. And I'm rambling. Okay, guys, DLC.
But meanwhile, in the Nintendo boardroom, he's like, can I make something else, please? Like, no, you are Nintendo, man. You are Zelda guy. You Zelda now.
Yeah. It's
Go
like
back to the Zelda room.
Yeah, but it's like with Miyamoto.
Go back to your dungeon.
Like, Miyamoto went from like Mario, Donkey Kong, Zelda, Star Fox, Metroid, like all of these different things, and then he's like, Nintendo. I want to make a game where you could. It's like
I want to make a game where you are a giant robot.
No. So he's like, so in Ocarina of Time, you could pick up a dog. What if we made a game all about picking up and petting dogs?
Yet you can't do that in Breath of the Wild.
You can pet the dog.
Not in Breath of the Wild.
No, you can feed him.
Oh, that's true.
You can like pet the horses while you're riding them.
That's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
But in Twilight Princess, you can you can pick the dog up, you can hold him,
and then you can like
this.
Yeah.
And then in Skyward Sword, you can throw it off
Step
of.
up from Ocarina of Time, where you just held the dog like this and it's head.
It's
I look
great.
at my
I
hat.
think that's
Just
realistic.
pick up the dog and you're like, run around with it.
You ever notice what short arms Link has? Like child Link.
Oh,
He puts his
yeah.
arms all the way up.
Yeah,
but
your
they
stubby
end right
arms.
here.
Your elbow's supposed to go to like the top of your head,
It's
but
like-
his.
Yeah.
His arms are like the arm version of my legs because
I
like
think-
whenever I drive a car,
Maybe-
the
is he
next
holding them
person
like
can't get
this?
in the car because I'm like under the steering wheel so I can drive.
Is he
Okay,
holding
so I
the
think
dog
that's
like
why,
this?
That must be it. Jesse's got the right posture. I think that's why in like Twilight
Oh.
Princess, since Link had like more normal proportions, and he picks something up, he holds it more like this,
Otherwise, it would just be.
or as opposed to like straight up and down, because it'd be like this weird. And then in like Breath of the Wild, they fixed it. Where he holds it just like with his arms are kind of bent, because it just would look. Those pencil arms are. That's too weird.
Are you okay,
Speaking
Ilya?
of fluffy things, some dude named Joseph asked if I. Wow, it went away. Oh.
What? This
no.
chat is just going faster than I can keep up, honestly.
Oh yeah, because he said something.
Well, they asked if I had just gotten in a fight with my teddy bear, which I'm offended. I would never hit Pink Teddy Bear, referring to the one that's usually on my bed.
Maybe you were in a fight with him, but you guys were on the same side.
She.
Against someone else.
I don't know how to take
I
that.
would never fight Pink Teddy Bear. Pink Teddy Bear is my best friend.
No, Pink Teddy Bear is on your side in the fight.
Balanek historian.
Seems legit.
What?
It's good. There's a fight. It's like 4 people in the fight. So it's you and Pink Teddy Bear versus 2 other guys. Technically, you're fighting with, but not against.
I would not allow her to fight.
And you must protect
As
her.
Maya's kissing her spider.
You have to let
My
Spider-Man.
teddy bear.
This is
Look at those
like
abs.
some weird fan fiction with like Robin is so female and is kissing Spider-Man.
Actually, at first I thought the person had written that I got in the fight with Teddy Bear.
Oh.
I was
No.
like, do you have any idea? First of all, Tevi would never hit me.
Mhm.
I don't imagine him hitting anyone. He
Tevi's
literally
your
is
biggest
a bear.
fan.
He's a great guy.
Second, he would have probably an angry mob on him if he beat me up.
There are so many people that love Ilya.
They're just concerned
Like-
because of the makeup.
Like there's Tony, there's Daniel, there's Tony.
Oh. Oops.
Yeah.
Someone said Miyamoto needs to die before he retires.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say earlier, and that's like I don't
Well,
want him to
I
ever
want-
retire, but at the same time, I don't want him to die either. He should be immortalized. Like if he does, they'll do the same thing that they did for Iwata in Breath of the Wild, where like they modeled a character after him, like made named a mountain, and the
Lord of the
Satora, yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good.
Satora Mountain.
Yeah.
That one.
So there'll be like Miyamoto Mountain, or Mia Mountain, or something like that.
Mia Mountain.
Mia Mountain.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, if they did
Moto
go
Valley.
back, if they did go back and put DLC, I think like the Breath of the Wild team, I think they're full on with the next Zelda game. I think they would get like Grezzo worked on Ocarina of Time 3D, Majora's Mask 3D, Triforce Heroes. They've worked on like 3D Zelda games. They've worked on 2D Zelda games. They've worked on like a lot of Zelda games. So I don't think there's anyone more perfect to get to make DLC for Breath of the Wild. Yeah, that game. Then like
Daniel, I
Grezzo.
don't know if you noticed, you have a little bit of something on your face. Just a
Oh,
little bit.
do I?
No,
What?
I said Daniel. It's not
No.
all about you, Jesse.
I'm just concerned
Even though it's
because
his channel.
Yeah.
his dog 1337 in the chat said, "Daniel, look behind you," and I'm worried. What? Wait.
I was wondering too. I was like, what's behind Daniel?
They're messing with you.
And I
Also,
agree that
Or
Breath of
that
the Wild
earlier-
is not gonna get
Fallout mask.
So really funny. We were
It's
talking
definitely
about
not
Joey
getting more
from
DLC.
Commonwealth Realm
You
earlier.
don't think so?
I don't
Is that
think so.
Bob
They
Ross?
said they were
No, it's
done.
Joey.
That's Bob
Yeah,
Ross.
but he's doing Bob Ross stuff.
That is Bob
Look at all
Ross.
those happy little trees.
And then his girlfriend's
That's
a
the real-
painting.
That
No,
is
that's really
hilarious.
Bob. That's not Joey. That's not a costume. That's really
that's
Bob
Bob
Ross.
Ross.
Bob Ross is dead.
Whoa! Spoilers.
He's back. Spoilers.
Wait, that made me think of one of my favorite lines from Men in Black. No, dead. No, he's not. He just went home.
Dang.
He's an alien.
Oh yeah.
Dang. Yeah,
Oh,
now
yeah.
he says, "Made you look, Daniel. I hope you feel satisfied. You
Alright.
let the trolls win."
Ah!
Jesse, look behind you.
Yeah.
It's Link and Goku and Link.
Whoa.
The perfect team.
It really is. I mean,
All right, so yeah, if there was, you don't think there's gonna be DLC, Ilya? Like Aonuma did,
So, because I'm
Aonuma
pretty sure that,
did
like,
say it was done, but let me remind you,
I
Miyamoto
know.
said there's only gonna be one 3DS.
True.
Miyamoto said that they're going to support the Wii U alongside the Nintendo Switch. What did they do?
Miyamoto said he is Bowser Jr.'s biological mother.
oh.
Miyamoto said the Nintendo DS family would not replace the Game Boy family.
But I also think it's done just because I can't imagine what else you would add to it at this point. I mean, yeah, we all want to see.
It
Hyrule
literally
Castle
ends
and
with a
its
cliffhanger,
story
though.
and everything, but
Zelda's like, "Hi, Vah Ruta is messing up. Let's go check it out." Game ends. They could just, hey.
I think that's going on to the next game though. I don't think that that's DLC.
yeah, if anything, it's the next game.
I thought that that was originally going to be the DLC, but then as soon as it wasn't, I was like, they're saving that for the next game.
Okay, what about this? Give us a way to have full stamina and full hearts.
So
Oh,
Yeah,
eight
seriously,
more
that
shrines?
bothers the freaking heck out of me. I went with
Yeah.
full stamina over hearts, but
Oh, I'm a full hearts kind of guy.
No.
Because I just no, because
I
like
need the
I feel
stamina.
I'm too much of a completionist, and if I'm finishing a Zelda game and I don't have 2 complete rows of hearts, I feel like that's gonna
No.
bother me.
So
too much.
Gus,
That's when you just use the temporary hearts and you just never get hit by
No.
anything.
Yeah,
Gus-
I always find more stuff for the extra hearts than I do for extra stamina.
Mm-hmm.
So I always
Alright.
end up making extra heart food.
so Gus in the chat says, "I need to get a Ridley amiibo. Have the DLC.
too.
You tap the Ridley amiibo, and Ridley just comes in Breath of the Wild.
No, please no.
Like-
don't do that.
Like in
Yes.
Ocarina of Time, it had the R-wing.
No.
My mom was super sad because the first few amiibos I had were like $2 ones I found like at Walmart just because I was like, well, I guess because I can, and they were all Animal Crossing, and she was like, wait, you can use any of these toys? She calls them toys. On the Breath of the Wild, and it gives you stuff, and I was like, yeah, and I was like, well, the Zelda ones give you specific stuff, but these other ones just give you whatever. She thought they came into the game with you, so she wanted to see like
Because of
Tom
Wolf
Nook
Link.
in
Oh my
Breath of the
goodness.
Wild, and I was like, no.
That
Mom.
reminds me, there was this years ago when I was on the Zelda Informer team, before Zelda Informer became a subsidiary of Zelda Dungeon.
Before Mossy's bought and canceled Zelda Informer.
Before website canceled. Sorry guys.
Spoilers.
Or merger, really. Spoilers, yeah. But then we were talking about like what we knew what Wolf Link Amiibo would do in Breath of the Wild, but that was it. Because they'd shown that extensively at E3, and they were like, what are the other amiibos gonna do? And I was like, it'd be so cool if champion amiibos, you had the champion as a companion. And I was like, you get every Link amiibo, and then you just have a squad of like 6 different versions of Link, including 8-bit Link, Skyward Sword Link, Twilight Princess Link, child and adult Link from Ocarina
Yes.
of Time.
Let's go.
And
Let's
it's like,
go.
all right, everyone, let's go. Now we're gonna go fight Ganon.
Dude,
What if you had
Where's
Twilight
that?
or Smash Ganondorf with you?
Oh my god, he's just like, I don't
Whoa.
really know why I'm here.
I don't really as he Forrest Gumps
Or-
alongside you just
Or you bring him along with you, and you're like, oh, there's like an Inception thing happening here, but then he ends up being part of the boss battle.
Hey, Maya.
Whoa.
Are you okay?
Me?
I mean, I said Maya. Ilya.
Oh
Sorry.
my, you said the wrong person.
Yeah. If only that was the first time.
They're not interchangeable, Jesse.
You've known me longer,
I'm
A lot
sorry.
longer.
but you've known both of us a decent amount that you shouldn't be making that.
Okay.
No, it's okay. Whatever,
Okay.
Daniel. I mean, Jesse, sorry.
I'm just saying, like Cairo Arena in the chat says hashtag squad goal. I hope you're referring to my squad of 6 different
Yes.
versions of Link and not us, because Jesse doesn't even know our names.
Be quiet, Bob.
we
Fair,
are
it's
not
almost
squad
2 a.m.
goals.
where we are.
Yeah. Okay. So finish this up. Okay. Everyone,
Okay.
go. Ilya, you don't want DLC. You don't think they're gonna do it.
No, I just
You
want to
hate
go
Breath of the
down.
Wild. You just want it done.
Ilya's not
You're
even
happy
Zelda.
that they're done. Why are you
Yeah,
here?
that's not why I have a shield or anything.
No.
That's to block off all the Zelda dorks that come.
Kara says Ilya 2.0 confirmed.
Alright.
Ilya, what?
Ilya 2.0
2.0.
confirmed, which we actually talked about the first podcast that I did.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
funny.
So Ilya, what DLC do you think? Because yes, again, Al Numa said he was done. But if the president's like, hey, we're gonna go back and make DLC for all these games that did
Go
really
Zelda,
well.
man. Go back to Zelda room, Zelda man.
This is a very recently released game, and it probably doesn't even count, but I would want DLC for Mario Party. More boards.
Yeah. I agree.
Online multiplayer with boards.
Yeah.
Online
Yes.
freaking multiplayer.
Online multiplayer, and then I'll actually buy it.
That's the only reason for actually.
And then I'll buy
There are
it.
2 reasons why I no. Yeah, 3 reasons why I don't have Mario Party 10. 1, I need to get another set of Joy-Cons. 2, that costs money. And that applies to the game and the Joy-Cons. 3, there's no online multiplayer. I can't play with you guys online.
That's the big thing for me too. Is like I have not bought Super Mario Party because I'm like,
Where's the
is
online?
it gonna be why not online?
Yeah.
Is it just gonna be me and my 6-year-old playing Mario Party every day? Is that gonna be my life now,
if I get the
Nintendo?
Joy-Cons, my mom, stepdad, brother, and I will all play it. But I want to be able to be like, yo, Daniel, Kayla, Maya, Jesse, you guys all. So we couldn't do that. But anyway, like, let's do it.
But
We can always dream.
Miss Click joins in, says, what happened to Ilya? Who do I need to beat up?
She said the same exact thing as Kayla.
Aw.
Oh my gosh.
She is a featherweight champion. Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
I don't think you understand how much of a kick-ass I can be.
You said a bad word.
Sorry.
Them's fighting words.
Ilya said a bad word. What's going on?
Now we have to beat her up again.
That's gonna ruin our ratings. Podcast canceled.
We have 33 people watching at 2 a.m. So.
Oh.
Maybe they're on the Pacific Coast, though.
All right.
There
So
you go.
Ilya,
It's
did
like
you
11
did you
here.
ever say what your DLC you would want?
She just said more.
Yeah,
Mario
more
Party.
Oh
boards,
yeah,
more
you.
online
So you think
functionality.
he's talking about the Mario parties?
I don't,
And Mario.
but that's what I want.
All right, Bob. What do you think?
Yo.
The
Demonetized
DLC.
channel gets
Do
deleted.
you think from the president's words that DLC is a possibility for Breath of the Wild, or do you think he just means like the obvious, like Super Mario Odyssey? Everyone probably already thought that's going to get a big set of DLC. I've always hoped for like Luigi multiplayer, to where like instead of just finding his balloons, you can like play as Luigi and join along.
Plus the Cappy Mario split up multiplayer 2-player mode in Mario Odyssey is terrible. And
I don't
if
get
it
the
was
point.
just Luigi or Peach with what's her name, Tiara? She already has like a Cappy like character with her.
Yeah, and
Right?
there was the other part of his quote that goes along with that, Daniel, is that he wants a big focus on online going forward.
There we go. Just don't make it Mario and then like also Mario. 'Cause That's,
It's
for me. which
It's
is-
green Mario, like in Luigi's Mansion. It's just green Mario.
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with that as long as
Or
they
Green
release
Luigi.
other DLC for other things too. And they could be talking about, you know, I mean, they mostly are saying like pre-existing games, but I really hope that that idea of wanting to bring more DLC to games just continues on in the future. Just with,
Yeah.
you know, because for example, I know when Animal Crossing comes out next year, I'm going to play so much of it, and I never wanted to be done with New Leaf. And I was so upset when like there was nothing more to do. So it's like I really hope that they continue that idea of wanting to add more and more to a game, you know? Even older
Yeah.
games, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that either.
And that's the thing is like people complain about, you know, DLC and everything, but for me it's just like I just want more game.
More games.
Nintendo is giving me more game. I will take it.
Yeah,
like,
Daniel
Yeah.
needs all the game he can get. So.
I need. Hmm. Sorry, what I meant is
Oh, yeah, so-
Burn.
Seahawk in the chat says he has to be up in like 6 hours. I don't know if he means for work or for the Nintendo Direct, but tomorrow, anyone is free to join me, but I'm going to be doing a stream along thing with the Nintendo Direct. So
Cool.
This
Stream
time
along,
I'm
it's
gonna
like a-
watch. They stream it on. Is there like a Twitch they stream it on?
Yeah.
too?
Twitch,
Yeah,
I'm gonna do
YouTube.
that this time because
everything.
last time I was spoiled for Animal Crossing because I was watching on YouTube at the same time people were watching on Twitch.
Oh,
I hear Isabel and Smash, Isabel and Smash. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And I'm like waiting for it to happen. I'm gonna watch the Twitch this time.
mhm.
Yeah. All right.
It's
So
quicker.
is that everyone? Did you go, Maya?
No.
What game do you think? What game would you like him to include?
What do you want,
DLC
Maya?
to?
what do you want?
What do you want?
Oh,
Maya!
Okay, listen. You're stressing me out, and I really don't appreciate
Maya!
it. Listen, okay, I swear. Hey, listen. Yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of silly, but did you guys ever play that game Snipper Clips?
Yes.
I love Snipper Clips.
They had DLC for that.
Did they? They already added DLC?
Yeah, it was like Snipper Clips cut together or
Let's cut it out together or something like that.
Put it out together. Oh, well, that's neat. That blows everything out of the water.
But they could add more DLC.
Yeah, I mean that would be great. I mean, I am really psyched. I am really psyched about the Mario Odyssey DLC because I hadn't played a Mario game since Mario 6. And yeah, so it had been a while. So playing it again, or playing Mario just in general, and then Odyssey, I actually really loved. And me and my boyfriend actually played it together, where I was like, we switched off between being the Hat and being Mario, and being Mario in the Hat. And so I would really like to see. I don't know if this counts because like we know that DLC is coming for the game, right? Hasn't that been confirmed?
For what?
For Mario Odyssey.
I don't know. Everyone expected their every big game Nintendo's released, like or not Fire Emblem, Xenoblade got a lot of DLC.
Fire
Breath of
Emblem
the Wild
on the 3DS got DLC though. That's the thing.
Breath of the Wild had DLC. Pokken Tournament, which was already a complete deluxe edition with DLC included, got even more DLC. So everyone assumed that Mario was going to get the same type of DLC, which it has gotten DLC, but not that. I'm not tucking everyone in.
Tuck them in. Tuck them in, Jesse.
No. Misclick. Just Tick Dog. Go away. You're not getting.
Dang.
I tucked my daughter in. That's.
Tuck them in, Jesse.
There you go.
No. My arms aren't that long. All right.
Tuck them.
So.
But I would like to see. I would like to see Mario Odyssey DLC. I was hoping that maybe there would be a different thing to play as too, other than just the hat. But I don't know how likely that is. But you never know.
Because it's bad.
What's bad?
Playing Cappy, like 2-player that way in Odyssey. It's so bad.
I enjoyed it. I really
do
enjoyed
not.
it.
Because Cappy in Odyssey is like an extension of Mario's abilities.
Right.
So you're basically taking a one-player experience, like you're like taking your controls and splitting it in half. It's like, okay, now it's not good.
I had a lot of fun with it. Maybe that's because I was really bad at using Cappy, and so when David was playing, he could just do everything for me, and I just kind of sat there like, all right, I don't even have to do anything.
Did you do the nunchuck part?
What do you mean?
Nunchuck? This is
Not
not a Wii game.
Shush.
This is not a Wii game.
Wow.
Did you
This is a
did you
Switch
use
game.
Did you use the
I used
nunchuck?
the nunchucks. I also used the original NES controller as well, but you know, there was a little bit of lag between.
Actually, I really want those. The NES controller Joy-Con.
Oh yeah.
I always want them so bad. And there's that picture going around where someone has like the two of them on the Switch, and I'm just like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And I want it so bad.
It looks like Link and Mario's ears when they're like the 8-bit versions.
Oh yeah.
Who's that?
Hey!
Hi, it's Miss Clickety.
Ooh, this. You have to go put on a costume. It's Halloween.
Yeah.
She's Miss
I mean,
Click.
Technically, our time, it's now All Saints Day, but
Shh.
Give me 1 second.
It's still Halloween for me.
Oh, and you're
That's
quiet.
I'll turn her
Oh,
up.
you might have to change my mic. I have a new mic.
Oh.
You're,
Give me 2 seconds.
that's
I'll get the
good.
perfect costume.
All right.
Good.
I wonder
Great.
if she's gonna put the banana
My
on.
mustache is really not working. I might
She
change to
is.
my backup costume.
Wait, it's not. How do I go full screen now?
What's your
Jeez.
backup costume?
It's a secret.
Oh.
My eyes are starting to
It's Emperor Cusco, actually.
What? Please
Yeah,
tell me
no,
it's you as
you
a
gotta-
llama though, and not.
No, not as a lot. I couldn't pull that off.
Oh,
I do actually. What
That
it
is
is
such
every
an
year.
underrated
I'm an actor in a murder mystery that I do annually. It's like a youth group murder mystery. So
I
do that
remember
every
you talking
October.
about this.
Yeah, so I did
She's.
that this year. Hey, that's amazing. You're my horse Charles in Breath of the
amazing.
Wild.
Oh my gosh.
So if you turn Miss Click up to 200% on your Discord, you can hear her.
Is this good?
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Oh
man.
my gosh. This is perfect.
But
This
yes,
is-
it was Disney themed this year.
Can you just stop
So-
horsing around?
Oh my god.
Winner.
Have I filled my obligation?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
you're good.
You
Okay.
can take the horse hat off.
No, become one with the horse.
Oh, okay. As long as you can understand me.
I thought you were gonna
Never
drop
take
the
it off.
banana suit.
Never
I
take
don't
it
know
off.
where- I don't know what happened to the banana suit. I think it got lost at TwitchCon.
Really?
Aw.
Oh,
I will find it.
How was TwitchCon, by the way?
It was amazing.
Did you meet up with
Yeah.
Did
any
you
cool
go
people?
like that? And
It was really fun. Yeah, we
You
got
sound a
a
little bit
bunch
hoarse.
I'm a little bit. I'm a little bit.
Is your voice okay?
I'm great.
It's a bit hoarse.
Oh.
Oh my god. I haven't even done this for my stream, so you're welcome, chat.
That's my first time talking to Myth. Like, I just want to say, hey, but you know, it didn't really work out, you know, that much. Alright, I'm done with the puns, I'm sorry.
It makes it better because when
Omi,
you
how do
move
feel
your
about
head, the
puns?
nose.
Yay or nay?
Oh my god.
We're killing Daniel.
He was slain.
He can't. He can't breathe. Breathe,
Can I
Bob.
like
Breathe.
rehab
Yeah, he's gone.
He left the mustache off his face.
Hey, I can see what's up, dude. Oh yeah, Ilya got the bruise because I kicked her by accident. She snuck up on the right side instead of the left side.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Those horses
I
are
didn't know that.
typically mounted from the left side. Yeah.
Whoa,
What
okay.
if you're
Oh.
left-handed? I'm just kidding.
What if you're left?
I'm technically left-handed, but right-footed.
Are you?
It was because of dance. We were always trained, and we learned everything to the right first. So waist down, my right leg is dominant and
Oh,
stronger.
there you go.
Mm.
Can you see better this way? Is this
Yeah, I
good?
actually can. Just gotta reach in here.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Oh god. Woo!
Oh, okay.
Alright.
That was good.
Sorry, I didn't
I'm
mean
like,
to interrupt.
I'm hurting.
No,
My sides are
yeah,
hurting.
Oh, alright. So mailbag, huh? I delivered it, fresh from the Pony Express.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay, no. Okay, seriously, with
Oh,
the
close to my head.
with the Pony Express, if you guys know who Zelda Master is, Luke,
Yeah, yeah.
he had a Zelda mailbag type thing that he called the Epona Express.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Aw.
So did we have to use an amiibo to get Misclick in here with that? Is that what we're saying? Or...
Yeah.
That's kind of
Either that or a
kinda
Red
weird
Dead
knowing that other
Redemption.
people have mailbags. It's almost like they're gonna be an opponent of ours.
Oh!
I'm,
It's 2 a.m. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, that's the beginning of a song that I was listening.
My husband's gonna walk in and he's gonna be like, what are you doing?
you just have to do
You
the
should
slow
have known
turn.
this
He's gonna
when
walk.
he married.
What side did you start screaming to?
We gotta do the slow turn, you know, or the very sudden turn, just the. Yeah.
No, the great thing when you turn your head too fast, yeah, the mouth.
I feel like you need. Okay, this is because.
But
it's
you don't
2
have the
a.m. and I
headphones
have
on
two
your
older
ears.
Brothers, okay, this is where
Yeah.
this thought process is coming in. 2 a.m. 2 older brothers. I feel like you can have like some sort of balloon full of like green slime at like the base of the horse mask,
Put it out.
and then like you come out. And then
Jeez.
One of those.
That's
my
confusing.
friend
I
and
think
I
I've
made
seen
that
this all.
sound in our. It wasn't
my
very
goodness.
secret.
Jacob just came into the chat and says, "What did I just come back to?"
Oh, hey, J-Link, what's up, dude?
Miss Click is a horse. it's our
I like
Halloween
this.
costume.
There's a
that's
dark
weird.
energy in that mouse.
I am the darkest they come. I'm also a tan goddess, don't let anybody tell you different.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I didn't have
It
a.
looks like you're picking your nose because you keep pulling at the horseman.
Digging for gold.
Yeah. See, Miss Click, everyone else had a costume, so before we started, I put on a Harry Potter scarf with a link cat,
Oh,
and
That's a
you grabbed
costume.
a horse mask. I am Harry Lonker.
Lonker.
Yeah, Harry Lonker.
From Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Why Pennsylvania?
Have you not seen that meme? Long from Pennsylvania?
Oh, it's so good.
yeah,
So
yeah.
good.
I mentioned it earlier. That was my costume, and everyone was like 3 years ago for
Nobody
Halloween
got it.
no one got it. They're like Peter Pan. And I'm like,
You could pull off a pretty good Peter Pan, though. Is all I'm saying.
sure, but
A
I
very
mean,
tall Peter
everyone
Pan.
was like,
What's
oh
wrong
hey,
with
and I would be like,
Wait, how tall? Wait, how tall is he? No, 5'10". That's
What?
not like super tall, right? Like
For Peter Pan.
Is
for
Peter Pan short?
that's tall.
Peter
Peter Pan
Pan's
is a
kid.
child.
I'm just wondering.
Teenager. I don't know.
He's like preteen, like at
He's
most.
like 12.
I'm just wondering how Miss Click can hear us because like the headphones are below her eyeballs and her ears are up here.
Yeah, her ears are way up top there.
It's like that picture of Arthur, the
It's
cartoon
like that
listening and stuff, and it's
Oh my
on the side of his
God.
head. It's like
No, pretty good.
It's
I
just
wonder if I can, like...
the sound is just beaming directly into his brain. That's how.
All right, are we ready to start the mailbag?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
oh, yeah.
Oh, there. She fixed it.
Does that work?
There we go.
But can he
Perfect.
still hear us?
Say something mean.
But hey, Miss Click, blink if you can hear us.
No, you can't.
Aw.
Yes, she can't. Sorry.
Yeah, it's over. It's over. It's
All right.
over.
Oh.
Hello, everyone, and welcome
Alright,
to.
let's pick it up. I cannot breathe.
Okay.
Holy cow!
Oh, there's a person under there.
the horse decapitation.
Off to the glue factory, I suppose.
This is the prequel to The Godfather.
I don't even want to know where that lasts, to be honest. Pardon me, guys.
All right. Is your face covered in
The
sweat?
horseless head woman.
Hey!
Any sense? I'm
No.
sorry.
It's alright, you got hit in the head a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, I know.
All right. Bob, you good?
Yes.
All right. Robin, you good?
What?
Robin?
No.
No. Okay.
Robin.
Sorry, I totally forgot you. I was.
I'm so sorry.
All right. Everyone's ready though. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Zelda mailbag for the Halloween Gamescast, our Halloween episode. We have Bob, Robin, Horse, and
And Ilya
No.
as herself.
no Katniss. Yes, yes,
Katniss.
yes, yeah. So would everyone
Everdeen.
Katniss Everdeen? Yes. All right. So we're going to go through each, pick one question
All right.
from the mailbag or the live chat if someone asks a good enough question. We have Miss Click, we have Maya, we have Daniel, and we have Ilya here. So today, who's going to start for the first question?
One of our guests. One of
Yeah.
our guests can
Yeah.
start.
Okay, Miss Click.
Where am I looking from?
Yeah. Anywhere.
Yeah.
Like
The
the
Google Doc.
Yeah, if you go to the Google Doc.
First, let's send you that.
Oh,
I'll just put that in our
Oh, yeah.
Discord.
I almost forgot. While you're looking for that, the dear, sweet, amazing Patreon supporters that I completely skipped over. So thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Elmer, Bootleg Boy, Gus, Justin, That One Pancake, Keep Time, 15, Monica, Casey, Link Use the Triforce, Megan, Lunerium, Robbie, Shadow to Us, Rusty Caulfield, and Lovable Christy. Thank you all. All right.
I love you.
Yeah.
Okay, now hold your horses. It's a little delayed on that one. You ready yet?
Very late.
She's just gonna leave, isn't she?
People are gonna be like, "What are you even talking about?" It's not gonna be connected.
Oh no.
All right, Miss Click, have you found a question?
Yes. I think that this is. This doesn't make complete sense, but if Skyward Sword, this is from Miko R. Miko R. I cannot pronounce
Nico.
last name.
With letter R.
If Skyward Sword was the start of everything, why did Demise rise from the dead? Wasn't he the one to curse Hyrule into the curse? How could he have been killed? Because he cursed Hyrule moments before his death. Why did he rise from the dead? I don't think he was dead. If
He
Skyward
was
Sword the start of
sealed.
everything,
Imprisoned.
yeah, that's
He
why
was
he was.
the imprisoned.
Yeah,
He was-
he technically didn't rise from the dead. He was locked in his prison, but he had that form. I think it would have been interesting to like see how that whole unfolded. Like it stabbed in his forehead. Zelda
yeah.
just likes to stab people in the forehead.
Yeah.
But I think
Signature
it's
move.
just I think it'd just be interesting, like the fact that he is able to. I just want to know where he came from, because he was able to lay that curse, and like you have to be a super powerful person to just lay a curse to last eternally.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I don't know, but he wasn't dead. He definitely was just locked up and pissed off. So
I have a
True answer.
video up that kind of sort of talks about Demise and where he came
watch
from.
it.
Yeah. It has Dr. Wily and
Dr. Willy, as
yeah, Dr. Willy
Shublima called him.
and Commonwealth Realm and Ilya. You're in the video too, right?
I am.
Yeah.
Right?
So I kind of know these people.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. You were in a thing with them.
And if I ever meet them, I'll be like, we did a video together. You don't know that, though.
Yeah. All right.
I do.
So yeah, I think like it kind of is an odd question because to me it already makes sense. Like he just like whether he was dead or sealed or whatever. Like he was sealed. Like how Ganondorf always gets sealed.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and then he always comes back, but it's like he's not coming back from the dead. He's just like, hey,
Yeah.
I broke out of your seal, because
And I
apparently
think the prologue also mentions that Hylia is the one that defeated him barely.
Right. Right.
Like barely defeated him
yeah.
and sealed him.
You know what would
See,
have been
that's-
crazy though? Is like is that if Skyward Sword had just ended in the I guess the future versus the past, the rest of Zelda wouldn't have even had to happen. Like technically, couldn't we go? I guess maybe somehow we could go off another timeline split where it continues in the present, like where the first time Demise is defeated. You know, like when the sealed ground
Mhm.
Yeah.
spoilers goes down. Like, couldn't we technically split that timeline? Technically,
That would, I think, I have my own theory about that. Everyone's like, Daniel, stop talking about this same theory for 2 years straight. But
what, the merging?
the merging, the dragon break thing.
I don't think
I
it's too
think
crazy.
That's what happened there, where because essentially he dies twice, and in order for that first ending to really work, like Link had to have gone back in time because the Master Sword gets left there in the past, I think, or no, it is after he comes back. But there's a whole thing with Zelda in the past being in the chrysalis thingy, and
Mm-hmm.
words are hard for me. So
Words are hard.
words are hard.
English is a stupid language. Anyway.
All right. Is there?
Yeah.
I guess move on to the second question. Maya,
Yeah,
have you
pretty
have one
actually.
picked out?
Yeah. Okay. So this was asked by Clements Treffel. He asked, "What if they had made an adult Wind Waker?
Oh,
what
we-
ideas could be put into
We
it
answered
and
that
what
one
would-"
last week. We
Oh,
forgot to take it off. Sorry.
well,
I'm lazy sometimes.
Womp
I did that
womp.
last
It's
week.
fine. No,
I
it's
picked like
cool.
3 questions.
No, it's fine. It's okay. I'm not upset or anything. Just,
She's so upset, Jesse.
no, just
She's never gonna come back.
no, that is well. I mean, that's up to you guys.
She's gonna stop coming to my Pikmin streams.
No, I love your Pikmin streams. I love watching you lose your absolute mind.
You missed the day where I accidentally fell off a bridge and massacred 60 Pikmin who drowned.
Do you know who
I
has
was
the best
screaming.
Splatoon streams?
I almost cried on stream today, guys. Because I fell off a bridge and not drowned 60 Pikmin.
Oh man, that is a time. That is a time. Go ahead and move on to somebody else while
okay.
I try to find a new question.
This
Sorry.
question is for Daniel. Okay, so Kyorina, I don't know. It's the very last question.
Twitter.
Yeah, it says, Kept Bergerson, how much information can we take out of the Hyrule Historia trio as canon information? I'm trying to write up some essay as canon versus non, and need some guidance and help. I knew the manga are not canon, and that some information has changed. Please help. Thanks.
Yes. He tagged Cairo Arena. There's actually a space in it. He's in the live chat, actually, as well. But there's a space in there. That's not on Twitter.
Tell us what's wrong with this book. Tell us what's wrong with our Bible.
So, our own... Yes, the problem is when, like, I think it's good for, like, kind of filling in some of the gaps, especially, like, between games, but when there's anything in those books, or at least two of them, in Hyrule Historia and in Zelda Encyclopedia, that directly contradict what is actually happening in the game, that's where you kind of have to lose the line of, like, okay, no longer that part is not going to be canon.
Integrity. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything else, if there's no, like, problem with it contradicting anything or anything like that, like, if it just is sort of second, I would say, like, B tier information almost, like it's not actually happening during the games or it's not impactful to the games, it's just kind of like filling in the gaps. I would say, like, you could accept that as canon until further noticed, basically. But, like, until we hear differently, then we can just accept that okay, that's just the canon fact. But Zelda's always changing what's actually the canon, like, timeline or anything like that. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Is just like I would accept it until further notice, up until the point where something gets contradicted by the actual game that it's writing about. Like Majora's Mask's, I think Zelda Encyclopedia and Hyrule Historia both say different things about the nature of Termina as a world that exists.
Mm-hmm.
They contradict each other while also both contradicting the game itself.
Yeah. So
can't really take that as canon fact.
The example that I like to bring up with Termina is, don't mean to interrupt you, but like you were the game itself, it shows you cutscenes that take place like weeks or whatever before Skull Kid even knows the mask exists. Like whenever you're going to the southern swamp, you pass up the tree that has the carving on it, and it shows the cutscene where Tattle's telling you about Termina was only created when he put on the mask. Otherwise, how would all that stuff have happened? Like that cutscene wouldn't be able to be there. So anyways, that's a part where the game kind of contradicts what the book says. But then there's like Miyamoto and Aonuma both like contradict each other on what Termina is, because one of them calls it a parallel world in the same way that Lorule is a parallel world, and the other guy says no, Termina is a physical location that's located right next to Hyrule. So it's like very confusing on what to do. So yeah.
I hope that helps with your essay. Because I haven't written an essay in 7 years.
You had an essay on Metroid.
Okay, well, I mean, I wrote a script about it. I guess it's kind of an essay.
Yeah.
It's like 25 minutes long. So,
Maya, did you find something yet?
Yes. Okay. So I mean, you guys might have done this one already too. I actually pulled it like directly from the Discord.
Okay.
So we had Left Hand Link asked if you could pick any Zelda game and remaster it with either Breath of the Wild graphics or new graphics, what game would it be and why?
Ooh.
Which I thought was interesting. So I'm partial to Twilight Princess just because I love Twilight Princess, but and also like I would say Wind Waker, but Wind Waker and Breath of the Wild kind of have a similar cartoony, bright like look to both of them that I feel like it might be too similar for a game like Wind Waker. But I keep thinking, man, in Wind Waker, if they took like the water graphics from Breath of the Wild and had that in Wind Waker when you're like going over all like the ocean, that would be amazing, right? Like that would be super, super cool.
Mhm.
So I would like to say those games, honestly, but one of the things I've it's always kind of bugged me about playing the older Zelda games is just the fact that they're not visually, in my eyes, appealing, because I grew up with games past like basically how Ocarina of Time looked was how I grew up. So going back and playing a game that's, you know, 16-bit or something like that, like, it's not visually appealing to me. So I think that if they took like the first Zelda game and then gave it Breath of the Wild graphics, I think that'd be really, really cool, because that was also an open world game, right? Like the first Zelda game ever was open world. So to see that in the story for that game, but put to Breath of the Wild, would be really cool, I think, in my opinion, and it would make me want to play it more. So,
All right.
I think that's pretty neat.
And our other guest, Miss Click, what game would you take and like redo with Breath of the Wild graphics?
With Breath of the Wild graphics?
See.
I would say on top, even if they couldn't do Breath of the Wild on top of the original, even doing a Link Between Worlds over the original top-down 2Ds would be really cool. Because, like, seeing how Link Between Worlds changed that was super, super cool. And, like, now them actually getting time to invest in this game that I own now through myself, it's been really cool. Like, I've just been playing it on the plane and everything on my flight home. It was really cool. But another game that had Breath of the Wild graphics that I think... I don't know, dude. They're all... I like them each for the different parts that they've added to the Zelda series, you know, but I honestly, I think it would even be, oh god, I like them all for different reasons, but I would have to say I would love to see either Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask with probably Ocarina of Time, to be honest, because I'd love to see Epona and all the other horses just updated, and, you know, like Lon Lon Ranch, like, brought back to life, just to kind of compare it, you know, like the now versus the past.
Yeah.
You know, that way you'd have a better understanding of, like, this is what Lon Lon Ranch used to look like, but with revamped graphics. And I understand those Ocarina of Time 3D, obviously, but still, like, I don't know. I feel like if you had the Breath of the Wild graphics, it would make the world of Hyrule felt open world way back then, but even now, you know, you can tell it's so restricted compared to Breath of the Wild. I think it would even just open it up a little bit better, open up a little bit more, create a little bit more depth in the sky, things like that.
All right. Daniel.
I want to see the DS Zelda games.
Yeah.
Spirit Tracks, but mostly Spirit Tracks, but also Phantom Hourglass.
That'd be cute. Bring them to the
That
Switch
would be-
too.
Yes.
Bring 'em to the
And then,
Switch.
you know, can make the controls a little bit more refined. But I didn't mind the touch controls at the time, but I don't think that would work well on the Switch, so they would have to adapt it somehow. But Spirit Tracks especially, like, they're both really sprawling games, especially for handhelds. So, like, just to see those come together, it would just be gorgeous, I think. Spirit Tracks has a really good world too. Like, it's pretty, like, the kind of different, like, sections are a little bit segregated, but it's a very large area that you go through. And even though you're restricted to, you know, train tracks when you're in the overworld, like, the field of view with what would be available with a Breath of the Wild sort of style graphics would be just magnificent. I'd never want to stop rolling on those train tracks. Like, it just,
As long as the game could load in. Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
It's also my favorite one of my favorite Princess Zeldas too. So that'd be really cool to,
Yes.
like, see the graphics brought up.
Is she dead?
All right.
What?
Ilya.
Spooky Halloween. She's a ghost, Ilya. Haven't you played Spirit Tracks?
I thought you were asking if I'm dead because I keep.
Oh, Ilya's dead too, by the way.
Yeah, we're
wasn't
way
the question.
past
Couldn't
everyone's
tell from her.
bedtimes.
It's just, like, you're all bloodied up, and then suddenly you're just, like, slumped back and quiet. All the internal bleeding. Oh no.
Are you okay, Ilya? Who hurt you?
Who did this
Just
to you?
Blink if it was Daniel.
I'm in literally another country.
It's like, there's no way you can connect this.
That's exactly why he has the
Planned
perfect
the
alibi.
perfect crime.
I watch too many crime shows. It doesn't exist.
So you
Until
say.
now.
All right, Ilya, what game would you replace with Breath of the Wild graphics? So like even if it was 2D, like it would be turned into a 3D game.
I'm
With
very
Breath of the
similar
Wild
to
graphics.
Click on this one because I'm like, but I love it for what it is. I've said it before. Just like I don't know if I would even actually end up, but do Link's Awakening. Just go for it.
That'd be
Make
cool.
it happen. I love Link's Awakening.
I don't know, the windfish just
I want to see the windfish in graphic.
right?
You know?
Ilya's like devolved into a 6-year-old. I want to see the windfish.
In Breath of the Wild, in Breath of the Wild, all of the Leviathan creatures, like the windfish or whatever, are dead. Like they're skeletons, and it's so
All
sad.
over, yeah.
The windfish is dead.
Yeah. And then Levias from Skyward Sword, and then there's even the skeleton from the CDI games that's in the desert.
We don't talk about those.
No, stop.
All right, so
The dongos.
Coincidence.
to make you happy, I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about it, but there is a Zelda 64 version of Link's Awakening that you could download and play. That was made by someone.
It
Like
actually looks
anyone
really.
acts.
Yeah, it's like a fan project.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Oh,
looks
no,
so
I've seen
good.
videos of.
yeah.
Yeah, y'all sent me the videos before.
Shh.
It was interesting.
Tony
Who
had
sent
a
you-
video on it.
Yeah, but
I think it was when he was on.
Or did he
like,
take
no
it
one's
down?
no one's allowed to talk about it because the guy is the person who may or may not exist that may or may not have made the game is kind of spooked about the Nintendo ninjas because like
Okay.
a bunch of people have contacted him for like updates on the project, and he's like, no, what project? So
Talk about Willis.
there's no game happening here.
yeah, but I
It's
think
a
Link's
secret to
Awakening
everybody.
Link's Awakening would be great, but
On
sorry.
on my Hyrule Amino, I have a thing because people were asking questions about me. I have more followers than I do on my YouTube, and every time I post a video, I'm like, subscribe to my channel. This is a tangent. I get like 30 more followers on Amino. And I'm like, I don't do anything on here. Move your butt over and subscribe to my channel. Anyway, sorry. No! It's not my chocolate. Okay.
It's okay, Ilya. You're gonna be okay. Help is on the way.
If
Wait,
you want to see Ilya dropping more of her chocolate, then subscribe to her channel.
All right.
It's sugar free, so it's already terrible to begin with. Anyway, I have a thing, and because people kept asking my real name on there, and so I was like, so go there to find my real name. This probably isn't even really relevant anymore, but then it was like, my name on here, Ilya Rose, and it says my real name, and I just wrote it's a secret to everyone. It was funnier in my head than, you know what?
She's
Someone needs to
really
tuck her in.
tired.
Someone needs
This
to
is
tuck her
why
in.
when people are like, "Oh, it'd be so funny to see you drunk," I'm like, "Just get me tired. It's the same thing." Also, how dare you want to see me in an inebriated position?
All right. So to make it quick, I will say I want to see Zelda 2 with the graphics of
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild, because Zelda 2 has a lot of dungeons.
Yeah.
That would
true.
be great. It has a lot of towns, and a lot of people don't know the towns or the villages in Zelda 2 are where they got the names for all of the sages in Ocarina of Time.
True.
They have
In the
Dark
real
Link.
world. But I think in the game, I think it's the other way around. That's it.
Yeah, well-
I think they named the. I just have a sneaky suspicion that they named the towns after those people.
Yeah, and then like how huge is that overworld in Zelda 2? Like to see
It's-
that like scaled
There's
out.
that chunk of the map that's like this tiny chunk, and it's the whole map from Zelda 1 in like this little tiny chunk at the bottom of Zelda 2's map. It's like the whole. So the implication is like the whole of like Zelda 1 takes place in like 1/20th of Zelda 2's map.
And Zelda
Yeah.
1's huge. I still can't find the dungeon. Don't you do it, Daniel.
That's why that's why
Shouldn't
Nintendo
have missed my
made
stream.
The Life of the Luxurious or whatever it was, that ROM hack for Zelda. But it does nothing to show you the directions though. It's like,
I know. I'm like, that's what I need. I need a friggin' map.
all right.
So, do you need a map or do you need a nap? Because
Both.
All right, Daniel, do you have a question?
I didn't pick one, but
This is worse than
we
when
did
I
have
took
one.
sleeping
Oh, this one
pills
is.
before the podcast. Remember when I took sleeping pills right before the podcast?
So like you're
Is that
it
right
looks,
now?
It looked like you were eating chocolate, but like where you're so far away from the screen, your bruise looks like chocolate. So it's like you fell asleep with like a candy bar in your mouth and the chocolate drool just came out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm in Florida, so like whenever you buy chocolate at a store, if you didn't have a good car,
Yep.
you just eat it on the way home. Because you'll get home and it's syrup.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Arizona, I understand that pain.
You're wearing a cape?
You get,
Mhm.
you get.
Yeah, it has a cape.
Or like you get in the car and you're
Oh.
like, here, let me touch my steering wheel like this for the first 10 minutes.
All right. So, Miss Click, did you have a Halloween costume? Like you
I
did?
think we just saw it.
we just,
Well,
or are you
I-
just?
I was hoping on possibly streaming today, and that was kind of what I was gonna wear. But I was still catching up on a lot of IRL stuff since I was gone in California. So I pretty much went over to check on my cat. My sister didn't want to give me Tack back, so Tack's still with my sister. Mountain's happy about that, but no, I focused more on giving Tack his costume today. So if you have not seen Tack in his captain costume on Twitter yet, make sure you go check that out because Captain Tack's wearing his captain outfit. So
I gotta see this right now.
yeah, he freaking
I don't
hated me
have
too.
Twitter.
Twitter, you don't. Well, Twitter, Instagram, either.
Okay, Instagram. I can do it.
Twitstagram.
Yeah.
I had the Twitter, and then I decided I didn't like Twitter, and I got
Too
rid
many
of it.
tweets.
It's pretty dramatic. It's pretty dramatic sometimes.
It's too.
there it is.
Oh. Oh.
His face is like, kill me.
we put a pumpkin hat on my cat Navi. I thought she was gonna kill me in my sleep.
Probably.
Probably.
It was a year ago.
Oh.
They're in for the long
So
game.
sad. So, I did find a question.
There you go.
Please don't
Okay,
steal mine.
so first off, Kay, the artist, asked, what if they made Ganondorf Zelda or Link's dad? And nope. So, the real question...
I could see
His-
more of as an uncle.
maybe a drunkle.
Yes.
What?
You know, it's like your uncle that's always drunk.
I don't have one.
Not
of those.
everybody has one of those.
Everybody needs
sure.
everybody needs an Uncle Crow in their life.
Yeah, the real question that I chose is Tara Brandford asks, since Ocarina of Time started the split timeline, the game shows the adult and child timeline. Do you think Zelda would show events for the Fallen Hero timeline?
Hmm.
I'm gonna say probably not because the Fallen Hero timeline is where you die in the end.
Spoilers.
Oh, it's in that book that's right behind you. But Zelda would be like an expansion, so it'd be like more game. But if you already died, then that's game over. So I don't know how that would work unless you suddenly switch to a different protagonist or something. But
I was gonna say, what if? Because someone asked a question about an MMO. An MMO. What if? Almost like WoW. Like, what if Link fails, but then since Link is gone, all the champions or all the heroes, which are us, had to like team
So,
up
like,
together and
okay,
fight back in.
we gotta get stuff done. Link's gone.
That'd be freaking dope. Like, I could
would
see
be.
that happening. Like, if you had an MMO, it could happen when Link is dead, and like y'all gotta carry the weight because he died.
I could just see that
Mhm.
moment though. They're like, you.
Nope, you
Yes,
cut
and-
out. Didn't
and
hear
then
any
all
of
a sudden,
that.
wait, he's the one.
Here's my
Your mic
favorite
cut out
picture.
a large portion of that. Your mic cut out.
Well, shoot.
My favorite picture.
Whoa, yeah, I've seen that.
Did you throw up right after that picture?
He just kept picking me up. I know I'm small, but
He's like, rub it in, why don't you? It's like when people run up to me because I'm short and they're like, I can pick you up. I was like, but don't.
Please don't.
But don't.
I'm like, I'm short. God made me short because he knows I like being close to the ground. Here's a reason.
Do people do the like, haha, and then you're their headrest?
Yes.
Or
All the
armrest?
time.
Your head is their armrest?
All the time. It's one of the reasons I don't ever leave my house anymore, okay?
Wait, are you all short?
Yeah.
Well, I'm 5'1", she's 5'2".
And a half.
Okay.
I imagine Miss Click's like 5'8".
Listen, I just met Cece in person, and I think she's around your height.
Yeah, she's like 4'10".
Really short, and I've never met someone that's shorter than me, so I felt like a freaking
Wait, so
Victoria's
you're short?
Secret model or something. Well, I'm
You're short,
5'5",
too?
so I'm
Oh,
usually
okay.
shorter than everybody else I know. Like all the guys are 6. All the guys are 6 foot and above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Than us.
All the guys are 6 foot and above. So I was super short, and then I met Cece, and I was like, oh, you poor thing.
Well, my
Wear heels to E3 next year.
my friends that are tall, they would always get. I always either the guys that had crushes on me, the guys I had crushes on, and all the guys that I dated, except for one that I had a crush on, were really tall, 6 foot and above. All of my crushes, whether it was I have a crush on them or they have a crush on me or I dated them, except for one dude, were all above 6 feet. And my girlfriends that are tall were like, "Don't do that."
Aww.
Why?
All the guys are because my girlfriends would be like 5'11" and they can't find a guy taller than them and they want a guy to be taller than them.
Well, they're not gonna just steal your man.
Or you can always
don't date him. So
you could always like if you notice that they're maybe a little interested in you, but you're not that much, just kind of casually introduce them. Like, hey, this is my friend. How you? Oh, you guys like the same thing? Oh, did you hear that?
Oh, you're both tall.
Have you seen this movie? Oh, I've seen it. You guys should go watch it together, though. You
One
know?
guy that. Well, there was
It sounds
one
like
guy
you've done that
it wasn't
before.
A mutual. He was like, yeah, but you can wear heels and you still won't be taller than me. I was like, I can wear heels and I still won't be at your friggin' shoulder.
Yeah.
I was still.
But
do
you
that.
could kick him, and it would hurt more.
I could punch him and it would be like lower stomach.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say.
All right, so did we answer the question?
What was it?
Oh, right, Zelda.
What was the
Everyone-
question?
Oh no.
Everyone wants to know about Zelda. Everybody. We've talked about it so much, everybody. But no, I don't think it would show the events of the Fallen Hero timeline because when they were developing Zelda, I don't think they thought of that would exist. And also, Link is dead. No more game occurs after that.
Whoa.
But yeah, the Fallen Hero timeline. Yeah, Link is dead.
Link is dead.
Yeah, so like,
Same.
Confirmed.
What did you say? Same?
No, I would never.
there's also the video that we made where we talked about how like even if they did find the Zelda expansion, it wouldn't be compatible with any of the Ocarina of Time games that we have because like you'd be starting out as adult Link instead of child Link, from what Nintendo said. And so like maybe there would be like new villages pop up, but it like maybe the text would be really weird, like when you glitch Majora's Mask to go to like the 4th day or whatever, and then everyone's like they give like weird speech bubbles because the game glitches out, doesn't know what's going on. Anyways, we have one more question, right? Yeah.
Are you okay?
Ilya,
Jesse, did you pick
so
one?
tired.
Ilya, you have to pick the question.
Did Jesse pick one?
Did
I mean,
yeah.
Are you
Did
in
you?
like a butterfly chair right now, Ilya?
Yes.
Because I'm getting sleepy just looking at how comfortable that looks.
I know, right?
Yes, this is so much more comfortable.
So you need a chair like mine. It's not comfortable at all.
I always had on the previous podcast, and I like this now. But no, I started laughing. I don't know why the way Jesse said "pop-up" was funny.
Pop-up.
Oh my god.
Papa.
Do you want to pick a question, Ilya?
Lots of what Jesse says is funny.
though.
Okay.
I have a question. No, my eye is twitching. Okay.
It's probably because
you
it's
probably should
bruised.
get some ice for it. That's
No, not that. DJ, Danny, D88. That's a lot of D's.
That's a lot of D's.
That's not a good grade to have.
Maya's gone.
We're good. We're good. We're good. Everything is good.
Anyway, they asked most annoying character in Legend of.
Was that most annoying character in Legend of Zelda? Is that
Yeah. It's the snot-nosed kid in Wind Waker that runs up to you.
Yes. He's
Because
not
you
annoying,
can't-
But he's gross.
No, so like
he's annoying.
Angry.
people say like Tingle and other characters are annoying, but there's him and then there's the old man that runs up to you once you get to that island. Windfall
Yes.
Island, I think, and like you can't
Yes.
avoid them. They automatically pop up text
Oh, dude, I became a
bubbles.
pro run from him. You see that little ding, and you're like, ah!
You're like, no, not today, old man, not today.
Now, you know who's
See, I
really
was gonna
annoying?
say
They're never
Mallow.
gonna take me alive.
Who's annoying, Miss Click? Daniel?
No, did Ilya answer? I realized it was her question.
Oh yeah, Ilya, you gotta
yes.
answer.
I haven't thought about it thoroughly. Honestly, I don't think I can think properly. I was gonna say I don't think he's annoying actually as much as it is he kind of freaks me out, but I'm gonna go with it because I don't want me talking too much at this point. Mallow, Twilight Princess.
I love Mallow.
I know
He's
it's not a
sarcastic,
baby.
super sarcastic.
Yes.
He's freaking
He's
creepy.
terrifying.
He's awesome. He's an entrepreneur.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he was like
He's
based
like
off of
4.
Stewie or something.
He is
Pretty
an
sure
entrepreneur, but he's terrifying.
He's
But
Zelda's
he's like
version of
4.
Stewie.
A
No,
4-year-old shouldn't be
he's
allowed
not
to be in
that
charge of
old.
an entire store, okay?
He gives
Definitely
you the
younger.
magical armor.
Yeah.
And like,
He lowers the prices of the shop. He lives up to his promise.
Yeah, but like the magic armor is the most expensive thing
and
ever.
how does he get? How does he get that old Elder Goron to like help out with his cause? Like,
Networking.
Cause like,
yeah, the guy with the spinning thing.
and then in the Wii U
God, that was
version,
great.
in the Wii U version, he has pictures of the future hanging on his wall.
Oh.
Because there's the
Of your
the screenshots
See,
of Breath of the
he's
Wild.
creepy. He's
All right.
creepy.
But you know who's most annoying? I don't think it has to do with like a character. Most annoying character, and I remember because as a kid, I always had to restart in Majora's Mask. The freaking, you know, the gold Deku flower in.
Yes, and you like so
Clock
much as,
tower.
like brush against it, and he's like,
And
hey,
he's like-
hey, hey.
And he comes in with his bags and everything, and you have to like wait for him to get to the flower. And he's like,
Oh,
"This is
yes.
my territory. You can't jump here." And then it's like you have to wait every single time. You got to replay it, and you walk too close, and you hear it, and you're like, "No, I already know." Yeah, that's.
I think the trend we've established is that basically the most annoying characters are the ones that stop the game, like that they just totally interrupt the
Legitimately,
gameplay.
and you can't
Yeah.
fast forward through the little flying
Yeah,
scenes. So you're
like you
what
just
the
cannot, like they just interrupt you, whatever you're doing, and you're just like, "Oh, this friggin' guy.
All right, Ilya.
Yeah.
Yes.
I changed my
You okay?
answer.
Okay.
Kapora Gabora.
From
Oh.
Bum bum bum.
You just like yes. You press A, you just press A as quick as possible, and then he says, "Do you want to hear this again?" And you hit A, and you're like,
Have you seen that meme? Have you seen the meme where it's like, do you not understand and want the replay of what you didn't understand? So do you want to listen again to what you didn't understand? And you're like,
"Is that a trick question?"
Also we got a super chat.
oh, jeez.
Zen Starwalker gives you $1 Canadian.
Oh.
hey, what's up, dude?
Zen
Stop,
Starwalker loves you all.
Yeah.
Supercharged didn't let him say that apparently. Super chat
Aw.
didn't let him say that.
We
Do you
love
have a
too, dude.
question for us, Mr. Zen?
Yeah. While we wait on that question, did anyone else say who their most annoying character was? Did everyone get a chance?
I
Okay.
have one.
Go, Maya.
From Twilight Princess, the mailman who runs up to you.
Oh.
Hey! That should have been my Halloween costume.
He's so weird.
Please
It was
don't,
just like one of
Daniel.
those things you leave like Kakariko Village and you're going on Epona and you're just going through Hyrule Field and you hear
But he's
He's
the best.
also somehow able to recognize you as a wolf.
Yeah. Okay,
He's
so
Yeah.
like
but do you not get like sad when like you go there in Hyrule Field expecting him, and then he just doesn't show up?
No, I'm happy. I'm like, let me just live my dreams. Let me just go.
Because like when you're in like the end game, you go there and like he never comes up, and you're just like, man, he was the only.
Nobody said Navi.
No, Navi's like.
Navi is not that bad.
I think she's just an overrated meme.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Like the water temple.
I do think that Fi or Fi, however you want to pronounce it, is way more annoying than Navi is. I really like her like as a I like her personality, but it's like you get a quest, right? And you know exactly what you have to do. You're told by an NPC. And then as soon as you're ready to go, Fi pops out and she's just like, "Let me explain to you what you need to do." Like, Fi, just let me go.
Alternatively, change the batteries in your Wii remote and she won't bother you so much.
I was literally gonna say, stop being lazy.
Just change the batteries. Okay,
on Amazon.
Yeah,
but
she's
actually,
much more of a hand holder
what-
than.
Yeah.
What I do find annoying though is when you ask her about an enemy, like for like a brief with Navi or Tattle, they'll just give you like 2 sentences or something. They're like, "Oh, that's a Skulltula. Don't you know about them? You gotta kill them that way." And then she will give you an essay about it, and you're like, "Oh, why did I ask? Oh no, I already know how to kill this thing. Oh no!" And you just like skipping through it. I just stopped asking her, and then it was fine. So, but Maya's gone.
Zen Starwalker says, I do. Do you think we will get... So this is a bonus question because he donated $1 Canadian. I don't know how much that is. I do. Do you think we will get a Ocarina of Time remake announcement on the anniversary this month? So yes, all year long, I was saying that Grezzo or someone at Nintendo was going to put out like the Ocarina of Time 3D, but like an HD version for the Switch, because it is the 20th anniversary of Ocarina of Time. It released in 1998. It's 2018. It's the 20th anniversary. Who was it? The president of Nintendo a few months ago, there was the interview that he had where he said that there were going to be a lot of first-party games releasing before the end of the year that were unannounced. And then like they came out with like Luigi's Mansion and some of these other games. And I thought like, what is like Ocarina of Time HD for the Switch would have been perfect for that, because most big games, you want to give them like 3 months, 6 months or whatever to market them. Unless someone already knows exactly what the game is. Then you don't need to spend a lot of time like showing people what it was. Like Breath of the Wild had like 1.5 years because it was like from the very beginning Nintendo was like, this is going to be like a very different game from traditional Zelda games. We're changing a lot of stuff. And then with other games, like whenever a new game comes out, they have to explain what it is. They need time to market it. But Ocarina of Time HD would be one of those games that Nintendo could literally be like, hey, it's coming out next month or next week or today it's already out, and everyone who would be interested in purchasing it would already know whether or not they would want to buy it. They wouldn't need to watch trailers or whatever to see if they would want to buy it, because everyone already knows what Ocarina of Time is. So that would be the perfect game to just announce and put out really quickly.
I'd buy it.
Yeah, and I thought Grezzo would have been working on it, but turns out they were working on Luigi's Mansion, so that crushed my dreams.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It would be really cool if they did announce it tomorrow for like the holiday break, but I don't know if they would do that. Yeah, but yeah, it's the perfect time. What better way to celebrate Ocarina of Time than release it on the 20th anniversary? Because releasing it on the 21st anniversary wouldn't be as exciting.
But 21's a prime number, so.
My first thought was 21. It can drink now in USA.
Oh right, US is weird.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
And another thing for that is games like Fire Emblem Warriors released on the 3DS alongside the Switch. So with Ocarina of Time, they already have the 3D version. You can
Fire Emblem Warriors did?
Yeah, it released on 3DS and Switch.
I just want a whole bundle of all of them released. I want another collector's
Yeah,
edition.
give us a Switch
That's a
collector's
collector's
edition.
Yeah.
I will pay $120 for that if I have to.
Yeah, same.
Or more.
Or
I'll
more.
just put money
Future
on it.
child.
No.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
Preferably not more, but I would. Let's be honest. So
Another remake, someone mentioned they think Seahawk thinks Skyward Sword HD would come first. Skyward
I
Sword,
honestly hope so.
yeah, Skyward Sword is the only main console Zelda game to not get a remake. So, aside from Zelda 2, at least. So like Zelda 1, like it's not, Breath of the Wild isn't Zelda 1, but Nintendo gave a lot of comparisons. They said they went back and looked at the first Zelda, and then like they have the artwork comparisons where like Link's on the cliff looking off at the mountain, and they wanted the sense of exploration that was in the first one. They looked at the Octorocks, and then that's how they got the idea for the Guardians. So there was a bunch of stuff there, and then like Zelda 2, like just skip that. But A Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds began as a remake of A Link to the Past, and then it turned into more of a reimagining. And then Ocarina of Time had 3D, Majora's Mask had 3D, Wind Waker had HD, Twilight Princess had HD, Skyward Sword has yet to do anything. But Tantalus, who made Twilight Princess HD, is rumored to be making Skyward Sword HD, so who knows?
As long as they don't freaking mess with the controls. The only thing that pissed me off is I played GameCube Twilight Princess. All right, like I don't care if you played it on Wii. I'm sorry, but it's not meant for that. They literally made Epona the worst freaking thing to drive ever. Like, forget about Link being drunk and riding on a horse. Epona was drunk. The controls were just so screwed up. Like, honestly,
if you Z target while you turn, it's very smooth.
Target.
And, like,
Sorry,
the
L
controls...
target. I said Z target because it's freaking because the N6 L
Because you're
target.
Canadian.
I got it. No,
If
I
you
got
also
it.
sorry, yes, I'm Canadian.
Yeah, I was talking about the fact that you said Z rather than Z.
Okay, but
me
it
too.
is L actually.
I just hope
L
that they keep.
target.
I just hope that they
But
keep it the
smoother.
same. If they remake it, like honestly, like just don't screw up. Like even the motion control, while it was cool to have it in the HD, and I understand the motion control on the Wii U pad isn't even the same as Joy-Cons. Like Joy-Con motion control is already way better than the Wii U pad. But I think as long as you keep that recalibration button, just leave it the same. Like just leave it the same. And if people are bad with motion controls, I'm sorry. Go and get more coordinated or something. I don't know what to tell you. Why you playing like this with your whatever. Anyways, I'm good.
All right,
I
so
would just want
Very
the option
passionate.
for no motion
the option for no motion controls.
because I'm left-handed.
Okay.
Ah.
Your mic cut
have
out
it
for
work.
me.
Extremely
not-
difficult
I'm
to
not-
play.
I'm not saying to have the world reverse. So I know I said that last time, and someone's like, "Well, then it's gonna get confusing." I mean, what if you could just have it to where he's left or right-handed,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they would just
that would
mirror
be
that in the
nice.
cutscenes?
that would be lovely. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think his swings are so wide that it wouldn't. It's not like it would affect the puzzles or like the combat overly. Anyways,
The only
if
thing
Link
you'd have
was
to
just
worry about, would mainly be like cutscenes. Like when Zelda's bestowing him and he holds the sword up, have him hold it up
Yeah.
with a different hand. So.
But that would be like such a
of the population.
minor, such
Hey,
a
my mom's
minor tweak to
left-handed,
do.
so I grew up like learning a lot of things ambidextrous. Like when I was learning drum set, I learned it left-handed.
You can play
And
drums.
then my teacher's like, "Why are you
What?
playing like this? Like you're a righty." So now I know to play drum set 2 ways because my mom was a lefty. But yeah, like no, I understand. There are a lot of people that struggle because they're in a left hand in a right-handed world. Like fridges, pencils. Like I feel your pain. Just because I saw my mom.
Binders.
I'm just really happy that at 3 a.m., 33 people are
They could be
enjoying, like, yeah, if this would have been at
Even
like
at midnight,
7,
though.
yeah, but like at 7 or 8 p.m., there'd be like twice as many people watching. But like since it's 3 a.m., I'm shocked that there's more than 2 people watching.
Yo, you guys the real MVPs.
Yeah.
True.
We see you, chat. We see you.
All right, so
I
I
thought
think
it was me, but no, those guys.
it's those guys. I think we've reached the end of the podcast. So thank you, Miss Click. Thank you, Maya. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Katniss. Yes. Thank you, Katniss. Yes. And thank you, Robin. Thank you, Horse Lady. So, Miss Click, who are you? Why are you here? You joined very last minute, like literally, like while we were ending the podcast.
Very
so thank you.
impromptu.
Yeah.
Except it was like an hour ago.
Also,
Alright.
I think
What the
Maya's a
hard's
fan
not
of
to
yours
help
as well.
Huh?
I think Maya's a fan of yours as well.
Oh my god!
Well,
I need
but
to
like, don't you don't have to say. Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
Well, I'm a fan of you too. We're all fans.
Yeah.
I honestly, I love meeting other Zelda lovers, and I see you're Robin, so, Teen
Yeah.
Titans!
Dang, go. Oh yeah, okay, we're good.
Yeah. But hey, no, I'm Misclick, guys. Welcome. Or have a good night. You can find me at Misclick Gaming on YouTube, or I would say just find me on misclickgaming.com. It literally has all of my links on there, so just go to misclickgaming.com. But
Which is your
Misclick
favorite
Gaming
link?
Here. My favorite link is Skyward Sword because he's the most emotional.
This
and the
one?
story makes me cry.
Is it this one?
Oh, I thought it was because of his baggy
I
pants.
keep forgetting you have. Well, yeah, I love the traveler's pants, dude. Sweatpants all day. When you gotta wear pants, that's what you gotta
So,
wear.
okay, off topic, Miss Click has the best Skyward Sword statue. It's the first 4 figures.
Ah, you can't see it.
Oh.
Show,
I will tell
Isn't it
you.
like
Awesome.
it's like 2 feet tall.
Yeah, like look, I'll just show you. Like compared to my torso.
that is one big bird.
That is one bigo birdo. What bird was it that they took the inspiration from?
I don't
Oh.
remember. The real world bird is not as important
I
as
do not
the
remember, but
fictional
Oh, but
one.
it's so
Ants
cool.
somewhere.
Like they based it off like an actual.
It's
thing.
Yeah,
bigger than the shield. You have a Hylian shield and the bird's bigger than the shield.
I think it's the
Well,
same
we've already
with Daniel.
established how short she is, so is comparing it up against her body.
I honestly,
fair.
I think it's about 3 feet tall. I think it's about 3 feet.
Oh, hold on.
So when the guys ordered it,
What?
Good. Oh,
She-
she
Yeah,
gone.
I've been doing
Okay.
that earlier.
She back.
Sorry.
Hi.
Yeah,
She
that
back.
happened
Shoe
again.
bills.
Yes, thank you. I was
Kigu
thinking
in the chat.
duckbill.
Duckbill, shoebill, yeah. Those were the real life Loftwings.
yeah,
But they don't save you like the other
no,
ones.
they're actually tiny, but they're like all gray.
Yeah.
They're not.
Alright, so Miss Click, you were saying. I interrupted you
Miss-
asking your favorite link.
No, Skyward Sword, but yeah. No, misclickgaming.com. That's where you can find me.
And how long have you been you?
Well, since I came out of the birth. No, I'm kidding.
No, I mean, how long have you been doing the Miss Click thing?
It'll actually be 2 years on November 23rd.
2 years, really?
Yo.
I thought it was longer than that. Yeah.
So, you know, it'll be dope. If you guys tune in on that anniversary, we'll be doing some giveaways. We'll be doing a 30K giveaway when the YouTube channel hits 30K subs. So make sure you stop by. And we'll also probably be doing some giveaways for future Nintendo games.
Yeah. Cool.
So.
Also, a quick awesome story about how Miss Click's above me, so if I'm pointing up, that's her. So the cool thing about Miss Click is whenever I first had her on, I thought she was just like a normal casual Zelda fan, but then we were, cause like, see, I hadn't talked to her before, I had no idea who she was, and I think it
love her
was
story.
yeah, and I think it was Cece, and she was like, yeah, and you can talk to Miss Click and have her on, she does Zelda stuff and blah blah blah, and I was like, okay. So like I had her on, and then I forgot who all was on there, but we were talking about something that was like kind of
Breath of
like,
the Wild text.
yeah, and then there was
Yeah.
like really hardcore Zelda stuff that casual fans wouldn't really know, and then she just started like going off on a tangent, and I'm like, oh, she actually does know about the games. And then after that, I was like, hey, since you actually know what you're talking about, would you like to do like an interview to promote your own channel? And then yeah, it was all cool. And then Maya over here I met because like someone had like said something negative about my channel, and she was like, well, I really like Game Over Jesse, and I was like, oh
Yeah, Maya.
okay, well, she's
on.
cool. She's I had never talked to her before, but I was in another Discord server. I think it was the Chamber of Sages, because everyone there talks about like HMK and McIntyre and everyone, and someone had mentioned my channel, and it was like a long time ago before Breath of the Wild even
It was
came
like
out.
a year before Breath of the Wild came out. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like I had like seen where she'd like there's 2 or 3 people that had like responded to the negative person saying good things about me, so I sent them a friend request, and then Maya was like, how did you know who I was? And it was really
Yeah, I was like, how do you even like? I was like, not that I'm not hyped or anything, but like, how do you even know I exist? And because I had just started streaming, it's been like 2 months. Like I had just started streaming 2 weeks before Jesse added me, and I was like, did he see my stream? Like I'm very confused. Like how would he possibly? So he had no idea that I even did any streams or anything. But as we got to like talk to each other and know each other just a little bit more, he like was like, oh, so like what do you do? And I was like, oh, I just started streaming on Twitch. and he was like, "Oh, link me," and I was like, I guess, but I didn't want to be like that person to be like, "Yeah, check out my stuff." So I was like, yeah, so I was like, I guess if you really want to, here's the link, but like it's not a big deal, and so it was actually really, really cool.
Yeah. And then Ilya, we met because she has a beautiful voice and she won a fan competition along with Sexy Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's all loopy.
Yeah.
Ilya's all loopy. Okay, Ilya, who are you? Why are you here?
I am Ilya. I am here because for a split second I thought I accidentally said my real name and I was about to be like,
We'll have to kill
Anyway.
everyone else watching. They'll never know.
33 people mysteriously die.
what happened? But it would be y'all too, though. So, just kidding. Two
Don't
people
kill
who do know
us.
my real name. But, anyway.
It's
I
Ilya.
am Ilya. I do voiceovers for Game Over Jesse, and I have a YouTube channel. You can just look up Ilya Rose. You can also look up The Geek Apprentice, but that's kind of a lesser known name. I do videos every other Wednesday, so I have a video coming out next Wednesday. It's geeky stuff. I have an Instagram for it too, Ilya Rose _ Geek Apprentice, and you can go to castingclub.com, look up Ilya Rose for all your voiceover needs. I do not just narrations, but I can do other silly voices like toddler and
And a
nasally
Kokiri.
secretary and stuff.
And a
Yeah, but can you
Kokiri.
do Valley Girl?
Valley Girl.
I haven't worked on that one, but I can do
Can you do a country?
I can do bratty southern. What was the line I used? Like, in my voice demo reel, what do I say? For my southern line, it was like, it's like, oh, bless your sweet little heart. It really is a shame, darling. Someone as beautifully minded as you not having the to match. Something like that. I said something like
I
that.
need to go
in
and
my
listen to it. Just
Yeah, my demo
to
reel's
get a
on
laugh.
there. My toddler one is my favorite.
You're also doing something with the Zelda universe?
Yes, I'm playing a Kokiri in their English dubbing of Ocarina of Time.
Yo.
Does their Zelda have a
comes
lisp
out.
again?
Oh,
What?
I didn't know we were allowed
Every
to talk about
person
that
they,
yet.
everybody they cast for the voice of Zelda always has a lisp.
Yeah.
Not
We-
that that's bad.
I don't
just think
think
it's
she
interesting.
does.
We
I
had
don't
the
think she
real
does.
Zelda on our podcast a few months ago.
Yes, that was cool. Pretty much every
Brag, brag.
time y'all, because I think the first one I was with there for Patricia's interview, but for the other two I was in the chat, and every time I asked like an acting question, be like, "So in the industry," I was just like, "Help me."
All right. So Daniel, who are you? Why are you here? I also have a question for Miss Click before we leave. But-
Well, I'm here because, and this actually funny. Speaking of how we met people, it came up in my Facebook memories like 2 weeks ago. Was the podcast where Jesse and I met from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
True story. When I was on the, I'll find the link actually.
Nintendo
I'll-
Prime?
It was at the time the Zelda Informer
Oh
podcast.
yeah, when they invited
and then
us.
Jesse was on as a guest, and yeah, and then I ended up. I guess I jumped ship.
Yeah.
Sometime after.
I was like, Daniel, you do a
All
really good
these
job.
Websites are gonna hate me. They're gonna be like, "Why can't we keep this guy?" But-
No, to make it short, it was kind of, he was making like really good videos for Zelda Informer, and he was like, "Oh, I'll just do it for fun." And I was like, "Oh, but what if I paid you?" And then maybe, and then we started the podcast.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It
So
was a fun time. But yeah, no, I'm Daniel. You can find me here on this podcast almost every week, except for last week I had too much of things, and then schedule is nuts.
someone
but
commented on one of the videos last
Ooh.
week and was like, "Did Daniel leave the podcast?"
Daniel died.
This is Bob.
They tried to come after Ilya, but she.
She fought them off. Tiny but vicious.
But no, yeah, oh, that was a sentence.
Are you okay, Daniel?
I'm getting sleepy, apparently. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Twitch, all at Capt Burgerson. BurgerSon. What did you whisper there?
Burgerson
what?
Media.
Burgerson Media. That's my website. BurgersonMedia.com. and you can find all the things I work on there. And I'm actually probably updating it in like a week or so because I have more stuff to add on there too.
You need to put a picture of you as Bob's Burgers costume.
And then it'd be like my dad.
This is Bob Burger, or yeah, Bob whatever, Bob
I
Burgers,
am the
and this
Burger
is
son.
Yeah, Burger's son.
Yeah.
Zen Starwalker, I guess he's a fan of yours too, Miss Click, because he brings up the miscreants.
Zen used to hang out all the time when we streamed on YouTube.
Yeah, I am in the miscreants, but I'm also more active on mine. I'm in like 30 or 40 Discord servers. If I go into misclicks, it's usually just to say misclick sucks, and then I'm out.
Usually.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Miss Click is ugly. She's so ugly. The moon turned away and didn't.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I go to
his name in my Discord server is I Hate Maya, so.
Oh.
I feel you.
I go to.
I should give Jesse the egg sucker roll in mine. I'm actually gonna do that right now.
I go to everyone's streams and I give them Zelda jokes or Zelda insults, Zelda themed insults. That way it's creative, but it's still an insult.
It's not Zelda themed when you just go, you're disgusting.
Okay, so Maya, we talked about who you were, but where can people find you? We accidentally skipped over that.
That's okay. Hi, I'm Maya. You can find me at www.twitch.tv/Maya, which is weird. It's MAIYA, and then Danny, DANNY.com. And then you can watch my dumb face because I stream every day. And then if you go to my YouTube, there's nothing there, but you will find a link to my Twitch there. So that's a good time. I'm pretty sure on my YouTube description it says there's no videos here because I don't know how to edit things. So check me out on Twitch. Thanks.
One day she will be. So
yeah, I mean, I would love to like put together compilations and stuff from like Twitch moments and put them over on YouTube.
That's what Miss Click does. Her most popular videos are her live reactions from Twitch, right?
Yo,
Miss Click.
What happened?
You're on YouTube. On YouTube.
You pointed up and it's you're pointing to Maya on my screen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, right now I'm pointing to Ilya on mine. Hey girl, what's up?
Oh, see, it's opposite for me. You're above me. For mine.
Right. So Maya was saying that her YouTube is going to be or is composed of Twitch compilations, and I was saying that's how your YouTube kind of first started, where you were like re-uploading like just recently your Spider-Man PS4 playthrough you uploaded.
Yeah, now I actually have an editor though, so we ended up like now we're gonna be doing like highlight videos. But yeah, you can Twitch actually, I just came back from TwitchCon, and in their keynote they announced they're gonna be having like an editor in their browser.
Yeah.
So you can go in, and so from the same stream you can like cut and splice and put together different highlights from the same stream. So that way you'll have a highlighter. That way you can just go in, cut what you need to cut out, and then just highlight one stream.
That's
and then
awesome.
That's really cool.
You know, you might
that
be
is
lucky
super cool.
for money.
And your, I want to say, your Breath of the Wild reaction is like what gave you a boost, I think, maybe?
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for it at all. I literally uploaded it for my sisters and for the people that were watching stream when the trailer first dropped, and I was like, I'll just record it after the fact because I'm playing Overwatch. I'm not going to get a chance to. I'll just record it and I'll upload it and I'll give you guys the link. And I gave everybody the link as soon as I uploaded it, and other people had caught on to it. Just because the importance of tags, ladies and gentlemen, everybody in chat, if you do not tag your videos, find the relevant tags, because I think that's how everybody found it. They just looked through the tags and it popped up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was ridiculous.
And is that how you also met Holly? Like you both had the reaction videos?
We kept getting put in like the compilations. So eventually we were starting getting tagged on Twitter together, and then like people were coming into the stream saying like, "Are you guys sisters?" And I was like, "No, we're not. Like, we're not even in the same country." No, it was really cool. Like I almost at TwitchCon, I was filming a DeLorean. They had a real life DeLorean there, and I was like filming, and I turned around and like I wasn't paying attention. I almost just like ran over her because I was like doing all this cool shot stuff, and she's like, "Oh hey!" I was like, "Oh hey, what's up?" So
she's short too, so
we were like the same height. So I was like, honestly, I for some reason I just felt like she'd be super tall, but we were literally
I did too. Whenever
same exact everything. Like it was weird. Obviously she's tan, but you know.
When we ran into her at E3, it was just me and Rick, RMFH, because no one else had gotten there at the time. And she was like, yeah, I'm just sitting here at this place, blah, 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 come find me. And I was like, okay. So then, like, I was looking around and I was looking at the text and I was like, I can't she says she's like sitting outside, but I don't see her anywhere. And then I just noticed this one girl that was sitting down that had like a Navi tattoo behind her ear, and I was like, maybe that's her, because I was expecting like, when you think model, you think like tall and everything.
Well, it's just because they work the camera, you know, in such a way to really it adds length, you know, like kind of like they do Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, you know, just the dimensions. So it's really cool.
Yeah. All right. So your question, Miss Click. Earlier, have you heard about the news about the Zelda anime is like halfway confirmed?
Kinda. I don't.
You're not into it? Because it was a news topic we had earlier, and I was wanting to.
So like, there's 3 things right now I'm kind of like about. Like, obviously we have the Avatar Netflix thing going on, and then we also have the Narnia Netflix thing going on, and now there's like a Zelda type anime or Zelda, you know, show, and I'm honestly just like, I don't want to get hyped for it, because we got hyped for the real live action remake of Avatar, and now we don't even want to mention it. And like, same with Narnia, like if Narnia gets butchered, I'm gonna be very upset. And obviously like Avatar with the whole show, it's like, I would love for it to work.
Yeah.
Like, if there's an anime, like, dude, the Smash anime with Pit and Link fighting against each other,
So good.
was amazing. Like, it's like it felt like this was a thing already, you know. So like, if it followed it right, yes. But the second we start adding in filler, or like kind of like the manga, you know, where things aren't canon but they're trying to fill in, you know, certain areas, like, just don't stray too far, unless it is going to be like in the same vein that it would be in a game, you know. That's my only thing.
All right, I think that's it. Yeah, because earlier, what was it? So like, do you remember a few years ago when the first rumor came out that there was going to be the Netflix Zelda thing?
Wasn't it going to be a movie and they had a whole trailer for it and everything? I'm talking about like way back.
No,
Like,
IGN made an April Fool's
ago.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was
Which, thank God, because that Zelda was horrendous. Sorry.
a few. Yeah, it did look kind of bad, but at the time I was just excited that something Zelda related was happening.
Yeah,
But I was also a kid and I didn't care about quality. I was just like, oh yes. But yeah, like a few years ago there's the Mario rumor that Nintendo was going to team with Sony to make a Mario movie, and around the same time there was the rumor that Netflix was going to make a Zelda TV show or something. And Nintendo came out and was like, we're not making any movies. And then like a couple of years later, they actually did come out and say, yes, we are working with Illumination Studio, who did Despicable Me and all the other stuff. So the Mario rumor ended up being true, just not with Sony, which was kind of odd because Nintendo and Sony are rivals. They ended up with Illumination Studio. And now, a year after that, it seems that the other part of that rumor about the Zelda Netflix thing is turning out to be true as well. And everyone liked, all the Castlevania fans at least, liked the Castlevania anime that Netflix did. And they're getting the same producer. So I'm hoping that they know what they're going to be doing. I don't know.
I just don't want like modern world, and this is gonna sound, I'm sorry if this offends anyone, but I'm just being honest at this point. Like, I just don't want too much pushed on the Zelda series. Like, keep it the way it's meant to be. Like, don't try to change any part of it to meet certain standards of 2018, because 2018 might not be the same we are years from now, but because we wanted to be inclusive or all correct, you know, like, I feel like we changed certain parts that, you know, are crucial to what has made the series what it is. You know, it's like, as long as they respect that, I'm good with that. But please don't be going and changing things that we have known for years at this point.
Yeah, I was talking earlier, like, if they make the Gorons normal people, they're just like mountain people instead of rock people.
Yeah.
Or like if the Zora aren't actually fish people in the anime, they're just like...
What if they just had like different attributes, you know, like it was almost like you thinking like a Ruby, like it's their semblance. Like, that'd be kind of cool. Like, that's kind of like their tribe's power or something. That'd be dope.
Like they turn into rock people?
Or like they just have,
I never
like,
watched
powers.
Kirby, forgive me.
Oh, they're just like powers,
Oh.
you know? Like, it'd be cool. But they have characteristics, kind of like maybe harder corners on their body, but they don't actually look like Gorons. I don't know. They could be creative with it, but it's just like, don't change it too much, you know? Like,
Yeah. Twilight Princess had a lot of really weird looking Gorons. like
Well,
volcanoes
you had
in
the
their
elders
backs.
and stuff, but that
Yeah.
was cool. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I guess that's the very end. Thank you guys for watching. It's like 4 a.m. I'm really sorry to Ilya for keeping you awake. I'm really sorry to Maya and Daniel and Miss Click.
I'd be up anyway.
I ain't gonna sleep. The Smash Direct is in like 7 hours.
Are you going to do
Oh,
a live stream
yeah.
reaction to that?
Yes. Am I?
Awesome. All right. We will be competing then.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, no, they also in future they just announced on Twitch you can be doing squad streams.
Yeah, I
Squad
saw that.
streams.
Yeah.
Yep, so we can technically all stream at the same time and we can share each other's links.
That's cool.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. So go follow Miss Click, go follow Maya, go follow Katniss, go follow Bob.
Thanks, everybody.
Everyone. Bye.
All right. Bye everybody.
Bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.